Rob, but I will also be a judge across the 3 days. We have 4 judges and 16 tables. I'm hoping it's not too tiring, but I'm looking forward to doing my best to help keep things moving. It's going to be an interesting experience. And of course, we have lots and lots of very strong players coming to that, trying to qualify for the World Riichi Championships.
Yeah,
I, uh, you go ahead, sorry.
it should be quite exciting. It's how many was it? Six is it top 12 or 16 is up for contention?
Top 16. We've got 16 seats for the US this year. Well,
That's
I think we might have the stream back at this point. Fingers crossed. We'll give them another few seconds to pull that up. But just as a reminder to anyone who might be joining us for the first time, we are playing with N League rules. That's 30k start, 30k return. And the special rules we're playing with are big homba worth 1500 points each, an open Riichi hand, and of course Kansai Chitoi, where you can use 4 copies of the same tile in your 7 pairs. And here we go. We have our first live look at the table. It looks like Christian is going to be our starting dealer, followed by Michael as South, Cody as West, and Chris as North.
If I recall, this is their first time at this new location.
It is. There was quite a lot of rush to set this up, and it looks like they've done a fantastic job emulating the older setup. For those who might not know, the previous setup spanned 2 floors, and now we have the luxury of doing it entirely from 1 floor in the new location. So it looks like they're just about to get started over here. I have my hopes up for Christian, but of course, good luck to everyone at the table. I noticed that Michael has one of those new plushies in front of him that Yostar recently released.
Oh yeah, I remember that on my trip. Rob and was hunting those down in Akiba. Um, I believe the Yostar store is over there, but I
Oh,
think he
that's,
actually picked it up from the Ami Ami store, if I recall.
I believe so. Yeah, those are looking pretty cool. Hey, Christian, we can see your text. Hide your phone. Seem to have a little bit of a delay starting the game over here. Hopefully, we get started on that soon. Oh, Christian, you can't be watching this stream right now. What are you doing? Oh, all right. All right, looks like the phone is going away. Or not. Oh,
Yeah, I
switching through
just
the cameras.
I just have the stream open on the other side. Unfortunately, it's still looking quite laggy. I'm sure they're working hard to figure out what is going on.
Looks like we're getting used to this new setup, so please bear with us. As someone who has a background in media and television studio production from college, I understand the difficulties. All right, nice look at Michael H. from the Falcons. Looks like one of the cameras might be out. Sneak peek at our switcher setup in the back. That's Claire Posniak, president of Riichi Nomi. And then to the right in the other room, you can see Wabin, who's playing at table 2, player for the Sours. And of course, right in front of us, we have on the right Cody, and on the left, we have Chris. As you can probably see, the setup for the cameras is a little bit complicated. The top camera is our face cam. We also have the lower camera for the hands, and it's a little bit of a dance to coordinate switching between hands and faces throughout the game while sitting at that little desk over there. The switcher has a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I could imagine. Unfortunately, I've never done switching for N League. I've only done overlay work and now commentating. But perhaps one day I'll get my hands on the switcher and see just how much how difficult it is to pull off in a great way.
Yeah, I'd likewise also want to try the overlay work because I've done the switcher but not the overlay, and I'd like to imagine the overlay is actually a lot harder. The switcher is kind of 8 buttons and that's it, but the difficult part is really in the timing, and if people play at different paces, you have to keep up with them and learn their habits to make for a cohesive viewing experience. So hats off to Claire or whoever else is switching today. Takes a lot of hard work.
That it does.
All right. Still looking to fill a little bit more time here. A few more errors to work out. Well, let's talk about the way we expect people to play today, I guess. Of course, being on the number one team so far, Chris is probably going to play a little bit more conservatively, even if he takes a bad result. It's not that bad for the team. They have such an incredible point buffer at this moment.
Yeah, I agree. When you're this far ahead, you really have no reason to take on any unnecessary risk. Um, th- the moment I know this is true for reasons of I might still be in that channel observing their discussions, but the team is very focused on fourth avoidance. This is a league where placement matters quite a bit. Avoiding fourth is the surefire way of not taking any huge negative swings in your points.
Yeah, with the UMA of plus 30, plus 10, just being in first place gets you 30,000 points. Second gets you 10,000, third gets negative 10,000, fourth gets negative 30,000. But on top of that, there is also an Oka, which is a special bonus that goes to first place. And that is another 20,000 points. So first is in effect getting 50,000 points. So this is definitely a format where people are going to be shoving hard for first if they're behind in the standings and trying to play conservatively and avoid last if they are not. I also want to correct myself earlier. Is a 30,000 point start and a 35,000 point return. That is my bad.
I didn't know that either. So,
Yeah, that is actually where the Oka, that special top prize, comes from. Everyone starts with 35,000 points and effectively wagers up 5,000 points, which is why the return is higher than the starting points. And that's where you get that 20,000 from.
it looks like we're starting now.
Very nice. Well, East won. Dora is the 5-so, and Christian is our dealer. His hand looks pretty promising. Has a Ryoncon in the Sozu and a completed 789 in the Pinzu. A little bit slow, but definitely workable.
This is definitely a hand if I got, I'd be pretty happy as opening dealer. Um,
Especially, yeah, especially with that 3-so draw. Michael over here, no door yet, but can slide to accept it. Otherwise, looks like a Riichi hand. Cody has a pair of his West Wind and great shapes. And then Chris,
ooh,
wow, maybe a Honitsu hand with the double door of 5-so.
yeah, that's pretty crazy. Um, let's see if he actually goes for it. I think in this situation, I would actually cut the one sub, but he opts for the Hatsu. Not too bad.
Yeah, perhaps looking to utilize the speed of the hand plus the double Dora to get a fast 3-Han win. We shall see. Well, Cody pausing on this could get a 6-7-8 Sanshoku now.
Yeah, absolutely. Calls the south. That is expected. See what will he dump? Dumps the 3 pen.
Yeah, this is definitely a hand that could develop towards a Honitsu, or in this case, pawns the Haku and can just go for the speed. Now,
Calls the Haku. Wow.
yeah, you kind of want to force the red 5-so in there because that's 2-Han, otherwise the hand is valueless, and he goes for the Honitsu.
I'm not
Greedy
sure if I.
play.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with that. Just given the fact that the team is so far ahead, but I can see the logic.
For sure. Hopefully, if he wins this Mangon here, he can take away the game.
Cody's
Cody
hand
Dup.
is, yeah, this is looking
Yeah,
pretty.
he has the option to pawn that west now and
There's
accept the
there's
Dora
the
5-so.
punishment. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, that's Mahjong.
That is
Now,
Mahjong. Good pickup for
great draw
Christian.
for Chris. He's Ishan 10 with a headless shape, so there are tons of styles that'll stick to that, give him a nice Riichi Pinfu.
Rima not really helping Cody out here.
Yeah, Cody's kind of at that point in his hand where everything is pretty much developed, so there are a lot less tiles that'll help the hand out.
That early Hatsu cut comes back to bite Chris again.
Yeah,
Gotta,
sometimes.
well, yeah, might as well
Oh,
get rid of it. Get rid of the unsafer tiles early.
yeah, exactly. Even though it's a backfire, he's making the best out of it now, which is cool. Michael's hand developing a little bit more, but still no value in kind of bad shapes. It's probably going to end up being a Riichi Nomi. If we get into the second row, that might be a bit risky to push with, especially since Chris has opened twice.
Yeah, agree.
Christian
Somebody,
has no luck connecting to the 6-0 or the 4-mon.
yep. A lot of the players just getting quite tepid draws right here. Although that eight though is pretty good pickup for Michael.
Perhaps we can even see a shift to Itsu with the right draws.
Absolutely.
Cody gets a redundant 6-pin over here. Discards it. Has to probably be cautious of the Sozu by this point. Chris discarded a 3-pin and then 3 Monzu.
Yeah, if I'm looking at what Chris has, I'm very afraid of any potential Sozu discards.
And here we have Tenpai for Christian on a Kanchan 3-mon. That would be Riichi Ipeiko if he decides to take it.
That is correct.
And decides to deny it. Looks for more.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure, but I think there is at least one 3-mon out already, so it's kind of a weak wait.
Yeah, there is already one out.
All right. Ideally, Christian would be able to draw the 5-so into Tenpai, and that would give him a 1-4-7-so wait with Fedora and Pinfu.
Well, that seven's a good pickup. It was good to keep the red five. I might have tossed that five pin the moment I got it.
Yeah. Chris has the foundations for 4 blocks now, but decides to cut the red 5-pin and greed for the Honitsu even more. I think it might be a little bit late for that. And Christian is rewarded, gets the 5-8-so Tenpai for Riichi Pinfu. The better weight to win on would be the 5-so, since that's the Dora. That'd be Riichi Pinfu Dora 1.
Yeah,
All right.
that is impressive.
Yeah, that's a beautiful draw. He definitely would have been kicking himself if he didn't break that Tenpai. And no Ipatsu draw. Gets a ton. How will the other players react? It looks like we have Michael trying to fold out, or at least Moashi, dropping the 2-1-1. That's safe. What about Cody?
I think at this point the players might have a moderate read on what he might be waiting on.
Yeah, if you look at that pawn, the Sozu is just completely absent, so you're scared of that. You're probably scared of some of the tiles around the Manzu, like the 3-6 mon.
Yeah, if I were at this table, Sozu would definitely not leave my hand ever.
On the other hand, Manzu looks relatively cheap, so we've seen Michael get away with 3 Manzu Genbutsu so far. Cody deciding whether he wants to push or drop the 7-pin or perhaps the 2-pin would break his hand apart a bit though, but there isn't any value in it yet.
At this point, if I'm Cody, I'm hard folding. You're not going to get anything out of this, and if you do, it's going to be way too forced and dangerous.
Yeah, I feel working around that upper Sozu is a very, very difficult path. Let's see. Goes for the 2-pin. And Chris draws a great tile, but this is a scary looking Riichi from the dealer, and Chris's hand is still a bit disjointed. Still needs to make 2 more fills. Shoves the 3-mon in.
I think I'm okay with throwing three man. I might have thrown north in that situation.
Yeah. That one's tricky. Eventually, you're going to have to drop the 3-6-mon anyway, and having cold twice, you don't have a lot of defensive options there, so it makes a little bit more sense to push. Cody draws the Dora, technically in Ishanten,
Hmm.
but still struggling about whether to drop the upper Pinzu or continuing to fight.
Yeah, this is a hard call.
Alright, decides to try and fold out or Moashi here. Chris finds the safe 9-mon, can probably pass the 6-mon on the next turn. So far, no 5-8-so for Christian.
Kind of feeling bad for Michael here. This is almost turning into a Chinitsu hand.
Yeah, it looks like if that Riichi hadn't happened, he might have been able to develop it. But
Yeah,
at this point, it's going to take a string of God draws to get back to ready.
absolutely.
Chris makes another Ryanmen shape in the Manzu. Would be Furiten. Decides to go for the Naka Suji 6-mon. The 3 passed, the 9 passed, so the 6 usually passes.
Yeah, I'm pretty
And
sure.
Michael.
I'm pretty sure the players have a read that Sozu is completely a minefield. I don't think there's a single Sozu tile out there.
There is not. I was just about to say, other than the indicator, the players do not see any Souza discarded. It is an extremely expensive suit split between Chris, the Wall, and Michael. And oh, there's another two. So now it
Um,
could become a reality, but you still have to push 3 tiles.
there's not
Well,
enough
the 4 pin
time.
is safe,
Yeah.
and the 6 pin passed. So yeah, it would take a few calls to get into Tempai. There's not many draws left as we get into the third row. Safe tile for Chris, who is now Ishanten looking for the 2-4 so or the 6-9 so, and the 9 so
Oh,
just passed.
our first Sozu has hit the table.
See if Michael follows suit or if he just tosses that back. Tosses it back for now. And Cody has a 9 so we might see a chi here. Of course, if he cheese, we're probably going to see a 1 so drop. You don't want to drop the double door into the Riichi.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's the chi. Chris is going to be Tempai for Honitsu Haku Dora 2.
Yeah.
Mangan waiting on just the 4 so Kanchan.
That's not a bad weight, honestly. The problem
Yeah.
comes if he draws say a 3, so will he drop the double Dora? I pray to God he wouldn't.
It looks like, unfortunately, that 4 so is dead at the moment, but Chris cannot see that. Cody calls into Tempai.
This is risky. Man. Yep. Logical. That's good. Good play. That's good restraint.
Yeah, Chris is doing very well here to play safety, but still keep his Mangan Tempai. No Sozu draw for Michael. We're going to come back to Cody's hand in just a second. It is an 8-mon and, sorry, 8-so and 6-mon Shabo. Could change it up to a Furry 10 4-7-mon here, but just tosses the 5-mon in.
Yep. We're about to be down to our final 4 draws for this hand.
1 pin is of no help. 3 more draws. Chris is going to have the Haite.
Oh my god. Uh,
Not Tempai, but very close to being Tempai.
right.
If a Sozu comes out for whatever reason, there is a chance to pawn and become Tempai, for example, on the 3 so, but it seems like
Yep.
it's really,
Yeah,
yeah, slim. And
he figured out that just toss out the safety tile. Yep.
Cody pushes that last 9 so now that it passed. And Chris is going to drop the East. We're going to have 3 players Tempai here. Chris with the Honitsu, Christian with the Riichi Pinfu, and Cody with the called Tanyao.
What a hand. That was impressive. Now remember, unlike M League does have Basengo, does have the big Hanba, as everyone calls it. So these repeats can really swing a game quickly.
Yeah, just in the pot right now is 1 Riichi stick and 1 Honba, a total value of 2,500. So the focus is going to shift a lot more to speed here to collect those nice treats.
Yeah, when I was a player, and anytime there was even one Hamba up, I would accelerate the fastest hand I could if it was possible. I was
Absolutely. So it looks like the Dora is the Red Dragon. We're on East 1, Repeat 1, 1 Honba, and 1 Riichi stick. And Michael's hand isn't looking too bad this time around. Could go for a Riichi Pinfu. Cody
what?
has a single red 5 and a red dragon. Maybe 7 pairs?
Oh wow, I actually like Chris's hands.
Yeah, Chris's hand is really good. He's so happy with his blocks that he drops the 3-mon from the start, looking to pair up the Dora perhaps.
Yeah.
Christian's hand isn't bad either. Has the red 5, can shift towards an open Tanya Dora 1 and collect those sticks. See, Michael here draws the 8 so, decides to cut the East for now, prioritizing efficiency. And Cody's hand over here does have 3 pairs. It's going to be tempting to go for Cheetah
Whoa,
if even one more
what a pickup from
forms.
Chris.
Oh, yeah. So already 1 away now for a potential Ipeiko Dora 3 if the tune pairs up. It's the Red Dragon. And Michael gets another pair here.
That he
Starts to shift
does.
towards Tanya. Yeah, you want to open up if your shapes are bad.
think the linchpin in a lot of people's hands is going to be this tune, this Dora tune. Let's see.
Another great draw for Chris. Upgrades to a double-sided weight and
Oh,
decides to junk the tune now.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it makes sense. Unless you're pairing it up, it's just going to continue to hurt your hand, and you have a hand that's worth fighting with already with these sticks in the middle, so getting rid
Right.
of it is not a bad decision. And a turn right
Look at that.
after Cody draws his. And if Chris only knew. All right. So Chris's hand currently looking to fill one more block in. There are some uh, Pinzu draws which can expand that shape a little bit. Michael has made a little bit of progress now.
Yeah.
Nicer pair of the 9-mon mobilizes the 6-7-mon shape. And Cody is still kind of stuck with these 4 pairs. The tune has come out once. If it comes out a second time, you probably just pawn it, but this could be a prime Chitoi hand.
Good. I would pawn the tunes. Mangan showing is always a good feeling.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not sure if I would call any of the other tiles. It'd be Atosuke on the tune. I just
Mm.
don't expect it to come out, but here it
Up there it
goes.
does.
And of course, it gets pawned. Let's
Ma-
commit Cody into 2 Shanten. Needs 2 more tiles to be Tempai.
I think at this point I cut the 2 pin. Yep.
Yeah, you already see 3 of the 1 pin and 1 of the 4 pin, and the other shapes in your hand are a little bit better.
Oh
And
boy.
here's Tempai for Chris, the ideal 6-pin draw. Does he pay Tonki and lock in the Ipeiko, or does he drop the North and wait
There you
on the
go.
5-8 pin? Oh, great.
Five
We're
eight
gonna have
5/8 pin
5.
wait for Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a spicy hand. It's not necessarily cheap either, not only because there's the Honba in the middle, but also there's a Takame Ipeiko.
The only thing that I would have given me a little pause there and to maybe Dama that is the fact that the Mangan is showing on Cody.
That's true. I guess Cody's going to continue to push anyway, and the hand it's worth fighting with, so Chris decided to just go straight ahead with it. And I think you could go either way, but I am personally a more attack-oriented player when it comes to having a good hand like this, so I would Riichi.
Yeah. Very often when you get to that point in Mahjong, there are no completely right or wrong calls. It's all a matter of defense versus offense, risk reward.
And of course, Cody is still going to push forward here. There's not nearly enough info in Chris's discards to give anyone a path to fold to the very end, and Cody is making progress, already 1 away. That red 5-mon is not a comfortable push, so Christian, trying to work around this, has been able to drop a few honors but has made no progress with the hand. Michael also finding a few safe tiles along the way.
Yeah, the longer this goes on, the more Chris's Riichi gets deciphered.
And no luck. 5-8 pin, there are 3 in the hand. Looks like Christian has 2. That counts for 5 of them. And Michael doesn't have any. And there's none discarded. Let's take a look at Cody's hand. And Cody doesn't have any, so it looks like there are 3 5-8 pins left in the
Ooh.
wall. Cody gets Tempai on 2-so, 1-so, shoves the red 5-mon in.
Oh man, that's a wait.
Yeah, and with the Mangan is very, very comfortable pushing here. Looks
So
like
now,
there are 3 left in the wall, so it's 3 versus 3.
yeah, hopefully people are paying attention to the fact of him just discard just going to oh, Chris
And
gets
there
it.
we go. Yeah, that 8 pin was going to come out. You have a Mangan, you're going to push. And that
Obvi-
is unfortunately the Takame. That's Riichi Tanyo Riichi Pinfu Ipeiko Dora 1 for Mangan plus a repeat. That's a total of 9,500 points plus the Riichi stick from the previous round.
that's incredible. And the dopes are at it again.
Strong start. Cody's going to take the hit, but had a hand definitely worth pushing for. That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And we move into East 2, repeat 0.
Dora
Gonna be
is
Michael's Stealer shift.
yep. Dora is 9-so.
All right. Still stuck on Chris's hand for just a second over here. Let's see what Michael has in store. Oh, Chris's starting hand isn't bad. could go towards a pinfu. Uh, we'll get back to Michael's hand in a second. Cody starts with 2 red 5s, though. And it looks like good shapes. And then Chris makes a great draw of the 6 pin. Could open up with the tune and just move things along. Well, fantastic draw from Michael here with the hanchan 4 pin. Now 2
Yeah.
away. And yeah, Cody is the south player. I think we'll probably see a south pawn if it comes out. Even though there's no other head at the moment, with 2 Dora, you want to mobilize your hand fast.
Yeah, a lot of these hands are quite speedy, with the right calls.
Christian has a possible Itsu even, depending on where the pair ends up. And Michael continues to make shape improvements in the Pinzu.
But he gets no luck out of the ones, so
Yeah. Chris finds another pair. This is really good for the hand.
yep,
Can now pawn that Haku and move forward to 1 away with good
yep.
shapes.
Totally agree with his discard there. 3 mon. Yep. No love there. It's not connected in any way, shape, or form.
It'll be interesting to see if Christian will chi the 3 pin and go for a fast Tanyao only in this situation. Meanwhile, Cody makes another pair, can now more comfortably pawn that south if it comes out, and Chris draws the 5-so into 1 away. Dropping the 3 pin here would be the most efficient choice. Hesitates a little bit, but drops the 2-mon. Pretty set on the Champon already, perhaps trying to draw improvements around the floating tile and move to pinfu. Michael, on the other hand, draws another pair. Not necessarily a bad thing, though. That 5-5-7-9-9 shape is like a double hanchan. Not much value, though. It is Michael's dealership, so I expect we'll see him Riichi any hand he gets.
Yeah. Yeah, unless he gets something that's a bit more Domitan accepting, which I don't see it at the moment.
Yeah, a little bit hard to inject value into that hand. If you pair up the Dora, you're pretty happy about that. You can move towards a Chitoid Dora 2 for 9,600 as dealer. At the moment, the Dora is a little hard to use because 2 of the 8-sos are out, and Michael is contemplating this crossroads in his hand. That 7 pin could help if you draw a 6 pin. It forms a 3-sided weight and decides to junk the 4 pin for it.
Yep. I
Cody
got.
draws a 7 pin over here. Has a little bit of a problem now. Too many blocks.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I
And
think
you
I.
know what? This
I think I agree with that.
Yeah, it's interesting because you can still pawn the south and be comfortable. You probably drop your 5-7, so even though it has the red 5. Or, now you can develop towards a pinfu if you draw the 6-so directly, and that would be really, really great for the hand. Pinfu
This
Dora
is
3.
this is a great pickup in form of the 8 mon here.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about earlier. The 5-mon will become the pair now, and if Michael drops the 9-mon,
Okay.
it'll be Ishanten. Decides to drop the 7 pin first and prioritize the safety of the 9-mon now that we're in row 2.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit difficult to get that 8-so, though. I think it will probably be at least a few more turns before he can draw into Tempai. It's not an easy shape to fill. Oh,
No,
but there we
it's definitely
go.
not. Wow. Well,
Oh,
I mean
twice
that's a.
dropped. Yeah, I think it's just a Riichi. Okay, you think about it, there's not many improvements that don't require you to drop the Dora.
Right.
So I don't hate it at all. We actually came onto a situation like this earlier today during free play, and I did the same exact thing. So Chris
It,
over here has the lead, drops the 3-so into the Ipatsu. That's a little bit surprising.
that is a little
Definitely
surprising.
taking a more aggressive line here. Michael doesn't get the Ipatsu. Still 2-8-so left. And Cody backfires that south, but is happy to have a safe tile. I mean, Chris is 1 away over here, but has quite a lead at this moment. So I'm interested to see, now that the Ipatsu and the excitement has passed a little bit, whether he'll consider folding with the Haku, which is once dropped already.
Yeah. As tempting as this is to win, you don't need to win. Let's see if he shows
Yeah.
restraint.
And it looks like at table 2, Melvin is off to a great start with 51,000 points. Everyone else below 30k. It looks like Melissa took the brunt of that damage.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
That that must have been an insane sumo there. No, Melissa. I'm not sure if that's in order of East of play.
Yeah, who knows? I'm sure we'll hear plenty about it after. Well, looks like Christian has made some progress, is deciding to push forward cautiously here. The 4 pin was passed, the 1 pin is Suji.
Yeah, at this point, once you dump your like two Hakus like that, you're just in full defense mode, I feel at this point.
Yeah, uh, Chris L is definitely out. Christian M has a small fighting chance, and Cody makes another fantastic fills. Now, Ishan 10 with Dora 2, two of the red 5s. Definitely could be considered a pushable hand, but
He dumps
it
the
is
two
a little
mon.
bit difficult. Yeah, 2 Mon comes out, that's a safe tile. Chris draws the Dora 9, so surely, surely he won't play the Dora. It's the
No.
boogeyman of tiles.
Exactly. At this situation, absolutely.
And
The door.
offers the 8 mine up to Christian. If Christian takes this, it would be a 4-7 so wait.
He
Decides to go
does.
for... Whoa, and draws it himself.
Oh man, we're gonna have a bit of a fight on our hands here, huh?
Yeah, and the 2 pin doesn't look ridiculously bad to pass, but decides to fold with the 4 pin. I'm a little bit surprised there. I think that I would have just jammed it, but he's playing a little bit conservatively right now.
I mean, he's not dealer. He's also in second. I can understand the desire to not push it.
For sure. I think the 2 pin was a 1 chance tile, so I would have felt good about pushing it. Would have been an Ipatsuma on the 2 pin Tonki. Not that I would have taken that over the 4-7 so, but now he drops it anyway. It's all spiraling out of control.
Yeah,
And
I think Christian's out of this one. So we
yeah,
move
it
into
might
our
be
third
GG
row.
for him.
Chris just picking up safe tile after safe tile.
And
Ah,
Sumo.
he gets it. Wow.
Oh no. Oh yes, I mean, that's really
Oh
good.
boy, yeah.
Tuura. Reach Sumo Dora 3 for a dealer Mong on 4,000 all.
Not bad.
Yeah, fantastic. Even though there were only 2 left, manages to snag one of those one from the wall and upgrade the hand with the Uradora. That is the power of Riichi.
That is quite the good luck there, especially when only two remained. And I don't think anyone in their right mind would have pitched it.
No, absolutely not. And we go into East 2, Repeat 1. Once again, there's going to be 1,500 points in the middle up for grabs, and people probably don't want to let Michael run away with things.
Dora is 3 so.
Not a bad starting hand. Looks like it's going to have to be closed for now, though.
Yep.
Cody, on the other hand, has opportunities to open, but has a really, really fast one away already, looking for the 4-5 Mon and some other tiles, which I didn't get a good look at. Chris starting with an Anko of the 3 Mon, but needs to develop the hand a bit. And Christian, complex pins of shape with 1 red 5 pin.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, Cody's looking for the 2-5 so as well. Has Dora 1, so this could be a really fast Riichi Tanya Dora 1 hand.
Yeah, Cody's
But I
hand
would not,
is very fast.
yeah, I would not be at all surprised if he just immediately pawns the 4 and the 5 Mon, since those are the worst shape in his hand right now, and it leaves him on a good weight Tenpai that can collect the sticks. Oh, but this is a fantastic draw. It mobilizes the 4-5 Mon shape. And now we could see a potential 3-sided weight in the Manzu.
That's beautiful. Yes, three-sided weights are your best friends in Mahjong.
So
Two.
Chris has paired up the Hatsu at this point, would probably look to call and relieve Michael of his dealership, especially since they are point rivals. Michael actually overtook with that last sumo. And Chris looked like he had an easy lead, but it is far from easy at this point. We are
Wow.
only in East 2.
Look at that pickup.
Amazing draw of that Chun. Chun just came out twice, unfortunately, so it's going to be a little bit hard to utilize, but you can have full confidence in pulling that Hatsu and either having 2 safe tiles or using the Chun as the head for the hand. Michael draws an 8-pin. That is 5 pairs
That is
and considers a
incredible.
Chitoy.
Melvin going on a rampage at table 2. He's up even more points now.
Yeah, looks like Julian fell a little bit since the last time we look, but 62,700 in only East 2 is a fantastic lead. Here comes
I
the Hatsu.
imagine
We
Chris
see
to
a
pawn
pawn.
that. Yep.
Yeah. And now he's one away, a sticky one away. Needs to stick anything to the 6-mon or the 3-pin in order to get Tempai. Of course, we already know the red dragon is dead, so not able to pawn.
Yeah. At that point, you just delegate that as your pair.
Michael draws a 6-pin here, which completes a 6-7-8 pin. Still hedges the Chitoy by dropping the 2-pin. So good flexibility. And despite the fantastic starting hand, Cody has made little to no progress. 5
Yeah.
draws in. There's a player calling already.
It doesn't
5
feel good
pin.
to be good in Cody's position right now. Oh, he
Yeah.
sticks it.
And there's the 4-pin. 2 5-pin. Wait for Chris. For Chris, that would be a Shun only hand, but it would collect the Riichi. The Homba.
Yes, it would.
This is the difficulty of commentating with someone named Christian and someone named Chris.
Yes.
So Michael over here, and drawing a 9-mon, goes with the 8-mons, might drop the 2-mon, but gives up on the Chitoy Dream, tossing that 8-pin away from the pair. Cody, no progress.
Yep.
And I need to correct myself. Chris, of course, also has 1 door, so this would be a 2,000 point hand plus a home buffer, 3,500 if it was
Yep.
able to run. Unfortunately, no progress for Christian. And Michael backfires a pair immediately.
Yeah. That always feels bad.
Decides to continue to drop that shape. Cody going forward, wondering where his tiles are.
Ooh, is he gonna do
Ooh,
it? Knowing
I think
Chris,
he
yep,
will.
he will close con that. You absolutely do that for the added value, because now that bumps that up to the 40 foo.
Ooh, what a draw. New door is a 6-0, and Chris draws the red 5-mon. Very difficult to use, though, with the 3-mons gone. You just gotta toss this back.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So that's 16 foo, plus the 4 from the Hatsu.
Now the
Total of 20.
three-sided weight given up for value, I can agree to that.
Yeah, Cody has a Mangan brewing 2-5, so wait for Tanyao Dora 3.
Yeah.
And Christian drops the 5, so not seeing the danger because all the door is hidden. And that's going to be a Mangan direct hit. Tanyao Dora 4, actually. That was the red 5-mon that was pawned. So 9,500 with the repeat. Probably looking for change here. There we go.
Wow.
Wow, that is a tough break there. Cody's going up to 27,000. Probably not feeling too bad now. Christian giving a little bit of a grin there. Didn't see that coming. What can you
Yeah,
do?
it's very hard. Once people start calling, you have to pay extra attention to see how often their hands change, just to get any indication of, oh, they may be ready. Anyway, new Dora looks to be 6-mon.
Yeah, the indicator is the red 5-mon, so 1 less red in the game this round. Chris's hand, 3 pairs, but not much going for it at the moment. Christian starts with a pair of the East, could pawn that. But maybe looking for a bit more of a beefy hand given the recent hit.
Yeah,
Starts with the 8-mon, hedges Sozu Honitsu. And then Michael over here also kind of disjointed, so it doesn't look like any of the hands are too fast yet. We'll come back to uh, Cody in a second. Oh, we see a quick pawn of the East for Christian,
yeah.
accelerating the hand forward.
I mean, when you think about it in this situation, if I'm Christian, I'm thinking, how do I get the third first? You know, you always think of it in, I think of it in stages, so he might just won't be wanting to climb that ladder. Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like Christian voided the Dora acceptance and is forcing the Honitsu now. Draws at 8, so probably looking to pair up one of the honors for the best chance at a Mangan.
Mm.
Michael's hand is not bad now, made 2 good draws in a row.
Cody gets
Cody
a good
also has
draw.
a great draw.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for Christian to compete with that speed, even though he's opened up to accelerate the hand. Chris is probably the only other player that has a relatively slow hand at the moment. And we see Christian continue to slough off those Pinzu tiles. Michael makes another great draw. It seems like that pawn changed everything about these hands.
Yeah, right?
And no luck for Chris.
Yeah.
Half of the table fast, half of the table slow.
Fortunately, if Chris does need to go into a defensive position, he doesn't have a bad hand to do it.
Yeah, and similarly, the general concept is, I'm going to go for a faraway hand. If I get it, it's expensive, it's really good. If I don't get it, I have tons of safety and it doesn't matter. Um, so that's a really good way to handle bad
Oh,
starting hands.
yep. But he does get a good draw in that force, so.
And good draw of the two-so for Christian. Looks like Michael has made his third pair. Could transition towards a Tanya now if he drops the 9-mon. Gets rid of the 2-mon first.
Hmm.
And what did Cody draw here? It's some variety of pins. Is it a 6-pin, a 7-pin?
It
Can't
was a
quite see.
5. Move your
Oh,
thumb.
could be a
It was
5.
a 6. It was a
There we
6.
go. So drops the 1-mon, moves towards the Tanya. Chris makes a good draw of the 3-so. Is now 3 away. And we're going to see a chi from Christian. That 9-so moves the hand one step closer to a possible Honitsu Chanta Ton.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not at all. And, the other players at the table don't know that Christian is still a little bit away from Tempai. They're probably going to start to get defensive going into the second row. Cody's actually going to drop the 8-so in advance, not wanting to keep it as Honitsu material for later.
Mm,
You hold on to that 8-so, you don't get that 7-so fill, you drop the 8-so and you deal in. That's the worst feeling.
it
But
absolutely is.
yeah, at the same time, because Christian isn't ready yet, Cody is unknowingly sacrificing his efficiency for nothing. But that is a nice pickup. Solves the
Ooh,
Sozu problem.
Chris drops the 9-mon.
Yeah, I had the chance to take the 1 away there, but decided to drop it and try and improve towards Tanya. It's a little bit late for that, but we'll see if it works out. Christian, on the other hand, draws into Ishanten, and Michael continuously improves the shapes, is now 2 away.
No
Oh,
love.
1-so draw. Still willing to push forward. And no reward for Chris yet. Christian
Ah,
was looking for the 1-4-so and the 7-so. They are eaten up quite a lot by the calls and Michael's hand, though.
that they
Michael's not
are.
even willing to drop it. Mm,
No luck with the
Cody,
9-pin.
yeah, just trying to force that Tanya through.
Really?
And
Hmm.
Chris sumo gears from that shape. A 9-so for Christian isn't going to help at all. Decides to drop the Hatsu now. I think I might have held on to that Hatsu in hopes of using it for safety since the 9-so didn't pass all 3 players, but shouldn't matter too much.
Drops the 2-pin.
Options to pull in that 5-pin, 6-pin, but half of that is locked away in Chris's hand, and there's at least one red. Oh, there we go. There's one red 5-pin left in the wall, and it
Comes
comes
out.
right out. I'm going to see a pawn over here. Now, do we see the 2-3-pin cut to force the Tanya? We do. Now with the 5-pin's gone and the 7-pin's mostly discarded, that 6-pin is a lot easier to see coming out. Other players are going to have a very hard time using it, other than, of course, Chris, who has the 4-6-6 shape. And we'll probably keep it as a pair. And there's Tempai for Cody, 6-pin and 6-so Shampon. Yeah, this is the part of the hand where if you have a hand like Chris's, you're thinking, to which point do I keep shoving tiles in now that there's 2
Right.
players that have called? But he does have a decent Ichan 10, and there's No super clear indication that there's a giant hand anywhere.
Hey, thinking on it, my only disagreement with Chris's hand was on the 8 or the 2. I probably would have tossed out a 6
Hmm.
instead.
Cody pauses on this too, wary of the Honitsu, actually drops Tenpai, getting rid of the 6 pin.
Oh,
And that's going to prompt Chris to call. He's going to
yes.
take K10 on the 2-mon. And can't win on this. There is no Yaku, but will get points at the end if he remains Tenpai.
I think that's his plan, is to just hit Tenpai at this point and continue dodging.
Yeah, I think if Chris ends up drawing any Sozu tiles, he'll probably break Tenpai as well and try and work around them because the risk doesn't seem worth the reward.
Agree.
Oh,
This,
here's Michael. The 7 So is a thorn in his side.
yeah, it is. Opts for more. Eventually, it's one of those pairs is gonna have to go. One pin's not a bad drop.
Now Cody's hand accumulating more Sozu, and you can see the power of Christian's illusion over here. Still
Right.
leash on 10, but the 2 calls make everyone panic.
Uh,
Oh, great draw for Michael over here. Now one
yeah,
away again, doesn't have to drop any of these Sozu. Looking for 6-9, so 3-5, 3-6 mon.
his patience was rewarded.
And oh, and here comes one of those Sozu. Do we see it pushed or not? Doesn't push it.
Yeah, not yet. I wouldn't push it at least.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Even if Christian isn't Tenpai for some reason, you risk feeding him more.
Oh, at least you're getting safe tiles there, Michael.
Yeah. Cody slides that 5-mon in, still looking to work around that 2-5, so we're getting towards the end now, and we might end up in a case where no one is Tenpai. That 7-mon is Dora adjacent. Comes out anyway. Looks like the threat at the table is Christian after all. And no luck with that 4-pin. Decent draw for Michael, but doesn't really help the hand. 4-pin is the pair. Goes for the 7-pin Suji. And we have 4 more draws left.
Yep,
It's
final
like,
four.
yeah, Cody's out. This is Tenpai again.
Oh,
Do we drop the 1-so though? And he shoves it forward, which is going to give Christian Tenpai on 4-7-so. So it's 4-7-so versus 3-mon 7-so. Could see a double run. I don't think we will, but
that would be quite humorous. But at least looking 2 people getting Tenpai here.
all right. Draw of the 7-mon is the last draw for Cody. We have the high-tay draw for Chris coming up. 7-mon comes out. Here we go. Draws the tune. Has the tune passed? Yes, it has. It is at least twice cut. And
Not
we have 2
bad.
players Tenpai, Chris and Christian. 1,500 each.
That helps
Wow.
Christian out. Bridges the gap to third a bit better for him.
That ambitious post for Chris gets him a nice 3,000 point comeuppance over Michael, who was no 10. And we move into East 4. It is Chris's dealership, and we have one homebell worth 1,500 points in the middle.
I
Looks
think
like a
that's a
great hand for Chris.
one Sodora, I believe.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's
And
a good.
yeah, just
That is a good
wow.
hand for Chris. Really.
And a good first draw, too. This is pre-built
Oh,
Tanyao pin Fui
wow,
Peiko Dora 1. Let's
this table is cheating. Wow.
see what else lies around. Christian's hand, not quite as impressive. Looks a bit slow, probably aiming for a Riichi. We have one door in Michael's hand, but bad shapes overall. And Cody actually has an interesting hand here. 3 pairs, including 2 Yakuhai and a 9-pin. Could even go for a Honroto or, of course, a Manzu Honitsu.
Yeah.
So probably our best bet at taking down Chris. And you can bet that hand is going to be calling like crazy with the 1,500 in the middle.
Wow, Chris even has Sanshoku acceptance there. If he gets a few lucky tiles, this is a good point for Chris as dealer to pull ahead. Looks like Weibin has evened up the second table a bit more, although uh, the lead still belongs to Melvin.
Cody draws an East. That's 4 terminal and honor pairs. Drops the 9 so regardless. There's already one gone as the indicator, but this could be a potential Hon Roto, Toi Toi Yaku Yaku for Haneman.
That's wow. That is a hand.
Oh, great
Oof.
draw for Michael over there. Now 2 Shanten.
This is going to be a very punchy hand because everybody is making traction.
Yeah, Cody has a decision now. Do we drop the 9-pin pair and go for Honitsu? Delays with the Hatsu for now.
No luck
I
on
think,
Chris's end.
yeah, Chris's hand hasn't progressed yet. Um, and like once again, that's just the reality of having a hand that's closer to Tenpai. But
Yep,
when you get a starting hand like that, you expect to get your fast reach, and when it doesn't come, it can be very frustrating.
I fully agree. That is
Oh
the worst
no.
feeling in the world.
Backfires the third 8-pin, and Christian drops his 9-pin now, seeing that. Michael, on the other hand, gets another good draw as one away. If you drop the 1 so, you have a good shot at Pinfu, but you would have to give up your Dora. It does fix one of your bad shapes, though.
I think I'm okay dumping Dora in this case just because of the proximity you have to first place.
Hmm.
And there's
Yeah,
a Honda on the field.
dropping the Formon gets you into a headless Ishanten. A lot of the lower Sozu will put you into Tenpai. If you're lucky, you get the Dora to pair up, and then you have a beefy 5,200 points. And Chris makes progress one away. Not with the best draw that gets rid of the Tanyao, but we see a consecutive Formon Chi and then a North Pawn from Cody, who is Ishanten from Honitsu.
Yeah. The big thing now is players who are got these powerful hands like Chris need to be careful with 2 calls on the field from the
Tenpai
same
from
player.
Michael
Yeah.
takes the Nobiton. That's the 1-4-so pair weight for Michael, who would look to win on the 1-so, which is a Riichi 2-hand.
Yep.
And
One,
9-so is the Ipatsu draw for Cody. Decides to shove it back. It is Suji to the Riichi tile. Ooh, 7-pin. Nothing looks safe here. But
yeah.
there are 3 8-pins out. I wouldn't mind pushing the 7-pin and fighting with this hand.
I I have had that same thought.
Yeah, otherwise, you're just giving up entirely, and there's too many turns left to be able to fold out easily. Oh, Christian draws a red 5-so, but decides to play it safe with the 1-pin. And no Ipatsu for Michael. We do
Oh
see a
man.
pawn, though.
Now
Cody
he's ready
takes
on the 5-8 mon.
Yeah, and that's going to be a Honitsu Yakuhai Yakuhai for 8,000 plus the Honba in the middle. So it's 5-8
Riichi.
mon versus 1-4-so. And let's see. Oh,
Oh,
Chun. Do we see
oh
another pawn?
my.
No. The
Oh
good weight
no.
is more important. Oh, this 3-mon. It looks scary, but you've committed this far.
Yeah.
This is just Russian roulette at this point. And yeah, Christian makes a good draw here.
Yeah, this is the type of game where if I'm in a situation like Christian, my watch is vibrating, asking me if I'm started exercise because my heart rate's elevated.
Oh, for sure. This is a really tough decision too, because he has one away with no safe tiles that don't break the hand apart. But the Manzu might look scary against Cody. Ideally, you'd be able to drop the 9-mon here, so you could go for a Tanyao.
Yeah,
But then again, the 2-so is close to the Dora, so they both look like bad drops. Taking a
absolutely.
long time to contemplate. Christian is behind, though. He has to fight at some point, and this hand could be the one to do it. A Riichi Tanyao Dora 1 would not be bad, and you could collect the Riichi stick and the Honba. Goes for the 4-so Dora Suji and deals in, unfortunately. That's a Riichi Dora 1 any Ura? Yeah, 1 Ura Dora for 7,700 plus the 1,500 Honba. Ouch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, unfortunately, Christian's going to fall further into 4th place. And Michael picks up a nice win there. That's going to put him... Oh, sorry, not 7,700. I apologize. Michael was certainly not the dealer here. That was 5,200 points plus 15.
Yes.
That is a brain fart. And we finally move into South 1. It is Christian's second dealership here. Can't quite see the Dora yet, but this hand is looking like it could be a Sozu Honitsu, has the Haku pair, and drops the 8 mon to start out with.
Mm, oh, I still can't make that out,
Yeah, it
sadly.
looks to be a Manzu of some variety. Great first draw for Michael, fills in that Penchan, looking like a Riichi hand.
It's seven mon is the Dora here.
There we go. And Cody, 5 pairs from the start, is 1 away from 7 pairs, commits to it with that 6-0 drop. Wow, some of these starting hands have been monstrous.
Yeah, this is pretty nutty.
Even Chris's hand is looking really good right now. Potential Itsu in the Pinzu. And Christian draws the red 5 mon. I think that's the end of the Honitsu dreams. But that's okay. You can call your Haku and look to repeat.
Yes, just give our score overlay a quick moment. They're just fixing a few values here and there.
I apologize again for getting that score wrong in the previous hand. All right, Christian gets that 3-so. Oh, sorry, Chris gets that 3-so draw. Christian gets the 2-pin. But Chris's hand is looking really good. You could see him calling Riichi in a few turns, possibly getting that Itsu, definitely getting a Pinfu. Any luck for Cody? No.
Oh,
It's going to be a once dropped June and a once dropped East are great tiles to wait on. Chris is actually going to keep that June, so that could be potential trouble down the line depending on how Cody's hand progresses. But in general, you want to keep that once dropped honor if you don't plan to use either of them, because it has a lower chance of becoming Urador. You see 2 of the greens and you see 2 of the reds. So I think that was probably Chris's decision between the 2. Cody was probably thinking about a sneaky 1-mon Tonki dropping the 4-mon, but saw that the 1-mon is once out. And there goes Christian with the pawn. Looks to protect
nice.
the dealership.
And our overlay, our score reporting seems to be up to date now.
There we go. So it looks like Christian's at 11,300 right now. Still not in bad shape if he can win a few hands as the dealer.
Yes, absolutely.
And Michael gets a draw in the upper Sozu, connects that 6-6-8-9 shape. Cody continuing to swap out pair candidates.
Yeah. Looks like he's really pushing for the Chitoitsu.
Yeah, him and Chris are just cruising at this point. They know exactly what they need. Christian takes the 3-4-5-mon Chi with the red 5-mon and drops the East, is now 1 away looking for the 3-so and the 5-so to get into Tempai.
Yep, good call.
Oh,
Paul with Dora and then his dealer.
Michael's hand is really interesting here.
Oh,
The upper Sozo is going to be hard to resolve, but I think you just drop the 1-so here.
yeah.
And there's not a lot of great Tempais, but you could maybe grow something around the 6-so and improve the shapes. Decides to drop it back. Keep the 1-so, perhaps looking for an upgrade towards Ipeko. And Cody draws a 7-so. That would be a tile that is Sotogawa or outside of his first discard of the 6-so, so perhaps he thinks that is a good tile to wait on later on.
Yeah.
No luck for Chris or Christian, though.
That's a
And,
decent pickup.
oh yeah. So now Michael draws an improvement, keeping that 1-so paid off. If he drops the 9-so now, he can accept the 1-so, the 4-so, the 6-so, and the 7-so, but decides to drop the 8-so, which loses the 7-so acceptance, but that's only 4 tiles.
Yeah.
I guess looking for the safety of the 9-so.
Next mon is no luck for Chris.
No, definitely a few dead turns for these 2 players now. And no luck for Michael either. I believe everyone is at least 1 away. 9-so gets pawned by Christian. He opens up to an even wider 1 away, hopefully drawing something around the 6-so.
Hopefully.
Will we see a 4th call of the 4-so? You start to get into dicey territory if someone calls open Riichi at that point. As a reminder, if a player declares open Riichi and you deal into them and you're not in Riichi, you play out a Yakuman, and that's only possible if all the tiles in your hand would deal in, you're not allowed to purposely deal into an open Riichi. The problem is, if Christian calls 4 times, he only has 1 tile in his hand to work with. So if someone, for example, called open Riichi on a 1-pin, 4-pin wait, and he has the 1-pin and he draws a 4-pin, he doesn't have a choice but to deal in and would pay a Yakuman, so it can be dangerous to open up more than 3 times in this format. We'll
I'll
see
be
if it
on.
comes to
I'll
be
be
a
honest. I've
problem.
never considered that, and that terrifies me.
Yeah, yeah, it's tricky. Of course, Christian is the dealer. He really wants to win this hand as fast as possible.
That he does.
Come gets dropped. And Cody makes an Anko of the 9-pin. Will we see
Uh,
a potential shift? Nah.
nice. He's committed. He's committed to this 7 pairs.
Yeah. We see a chi from Chris. This is an interesting chi. Is it a Chin Itsu force, or there's still a backdoor towards a Itsu, full straight if he can get the 6-pin?
But the worst tile you can draw is Christian, the 1-mon.
Yeah, no progress. Well, Michael's gonna go for the Hatsu. And Cody, still no Tenpai, has been stuck here since the start of the hand with nothing happening.
I mean, that's kind of the price you pay when you go for 7 pairs. You just get in that situation where you are relying on your own luck.
So Chris is Tenpai here on 4-pin and 7-so, but cannot win. This might turn into a Chinitsu hand. But Christian draws a red 5-so into Tenpai for 7-so, would be looking for the Hakudora 2. All right, and that's dangerous because if I'm remembering right, Chris has a pair of the 7-so, and if he draws a single Pinzo, will almost certainly be dropping them
Hmm.
to go for the Chinitsu. Gets another 7-mon Dora, backfired that pair up, unfortunately. Shoves it forward. I'm glad Christian didn't have to call a 4th time there and potentially face the wrath of an open Riichi. Michael, deciding between tossing this 3-mon and the Tolan, decides he can still pass that 3-mon and shoves it. Keeps the safer east for later. And man, Cody is just not able to find Tenpai. That Dora is already dropped twice. Chris draws a west. That's a Honitsu tile, but
Yeah.
decides to drop it.
What's
It's
going to be
already cut.
What's going to be unfortunate is Cody does manage to get there and then waits on the 7, and then
Oh man, yeah, the double run chance. That'd be disgusting.
a triple. Well, Chris can't, but
Oh, that's
it's
true. That's true.
nice to.
Oh, I think the 7-so comes out
Oh,
here and it's gonna deal in. That's gonna be a dealer Haku Dora 2 for a total of, they're doing the fu now. They're counting it up. That would be 8 fu. So it does not go over 30 fu. That'll be 5,800.
that is a blow, but could have been worse.
Could have been worse. And Christian gets his first repeat.
Let's
South
see.
1, repeat 1. Dealer is Christian. Dora is the North. And this hand doesn't look too bad.
Yeah,
Pair of
no.
Easts. Easy. Cheatoy. You could see a double reach here.
Oh my God,
Ah, doesn't make it.
that's not a draw you want to see like this.
Oh, the cheaty hands have moved over to Christian now, but we saw how they tempted Cody last round. Will the same hold true here?
Yeah, the theory is that they put Chris's dog inside the table to arrange the tiles. He's just one off from where the tile should be.
Oh man. Oh, Michael pairs up the East, so that's going to be Mochi Mochi for him and Christian. They're going to be both wanting that East to triple up.
That is true. I ate quite a bit of mochi in Japan.
Ah, mochi is always good when it's fresh. Did you notice a difference?
I did. 100%.
Well, the mochi that Michael and Christian have is not the type that you want, but we're going to see Chris take a quick pawn of the south, looking to move things along.
Yep,
Pawns the Yakuhai.
I agree with that. Again, with one hamba on the table, winning fast is a strategy.
A little bit of points balancing going down below. And Cody is going for a Riichi here, deciding whether to Sakigiri the 2-pin, and does. It's getting rid of the tile before it becomes too dangerous, even though it
Yep.
gets rid of some efficiency. It looks like Chris is pushing for a potential Manzu Honitsu in keeping that north over the 6-0. Christian, on the other hand, draws a 8-0, moving closer to his own Honitsu.
Uh,
And Cody draws a 5-mon over here. Perhaps a 9-pin?
Not bad.
Yeah, steadily improving shapes. All right, Chris's one away rejects the 9-pin, though, still looking to potentially shift over to that Honitsu at the cost of efficiency. Michael is in the lead now, so it makes a little bit of a sense to be trying for a more expensive hand in South 1, but Chris does have a dealership left, so it's not the end of
Yeah,
the world if he doesn't win.
yeah. I think I would go for the speed over the big swinging hand, but I mean, hey, picking up that 9-mon helps him out.
And he's going to pass the Tenpai there to fight for the Honitsu.
We're still in row 1, so it is reasonable to try to build. See, Melvin's still on the second table with a monstrous lead.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be very hard for people to overturn that. Wabin has a chance. It is
Yeah.
South 1. I believe it is Wabin's dealership.
Mm.
All right. So looks like Christian's hand drew another Sozu. Probably looking to call as soon as possible. Michael, on the other hand, developed a 3-sided weight in the Sozu and is currently 2 away from a Riichi Pinfu. Cody draws a 4-pin and advances to 1 away as well.
There we
Drops a
go.
3-pin advance. Normally you'd want to keep that shape, the 2-3-3-4, but Cody already dropped the 2 earlier, so it could be Furry 10 in the future.
Agree.
All right.
Oh
Oh,
man, everyone's
so
fighting.
the Dora is the question for Michael. To toss
Yeah,
it now, to toss it later. If you toss it now, you have the better 1 away, and you avert danger later, and he does just that.
I think this is gonna push maybe Chris to thinking north is a way out. If it depends.
Yeah, I think at this point in the hand, Chris just has to take whatever Tenpai he gets. I don't think he can afford to be picky anymore now that the
No,
door has come out and players are getting closer to Tenpai.
agree. Although oh, yeah, Haku out. Might have done the 7-pin before the Haku, just because I know the Haku is a point of safety. You want that safety later.
Agreed. Since you dropped the 9-pin already and you see a couple of them plus an 8-pin out, the 7-pin doesn't help a whole lot. Unless, of course, you're planning to take the Tenpai if you draw the 6-pin. So if
Huh.
that is his plan, then sure, by all means keep it. But now, oh, actually rejects it. So perhaps this is what we were talking about, where he sees, the need for speed, as it were,
Yeah,
and is looking to draw that 6-pin in. It's going to be a little bit tough. There's 2 in Michael's hand, and there's 1 in Cody's hand. And Cody draws a.
I think it's
Looks
a
like it.
9-mon, 7-mon,
A little hard to see. A
9-mon.
9-mon.
Hey,
4-so is dropped here. It looks like we're. Oh no, never mind. Drops the 9-mon back. My bad. And that's gonna
that
be a chi
calls
for.
it.
Sorry, pawn for Chris. Yeah,
Yep.
North Tonki. That's gonna be a Honitsu South waiting on the north tile. And north is of course the Dora, so that would be a Mangan.
Yeah, it says he might actually get it because one's been tossed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if people just shove it out, especially Michael, who is 1 away with good shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Cody might hesitate to drop it. We'll see. Oh, we go over to Christian's hand, still no progress. It's been a few turns now, not able to pull in that east because, of course, it is paired up in Michael's hand.
Mm.
It's looking like this might be the end of Christian's dealership, unless anything drastic happens.
Love.
1-so. Is that a calling tile? No, it decides not to.
Ooh.
Hmm. Well, the red 5 pin comes out. That's probably going to give Michael a little bit of a scare, but he is Tenpai now, 369, so probably just going to slam here.
Yep. There we go.
For Riichi Pinfu, 369. And Cody, stuck here, tosses a 6 pin, has a safe path to Tenpai. Oh, the 7 pin looks a little scary for Chris, but pushes because he's Tenpai. That's a tile that's right next to the Riichi tile. No Ipatsu for Michael. Oh, great draw for Cody. Takes the Tenpai, but does not Riichi. Is waiting on 6-mon, but with no Yaku. And the really good thing for Chris here is that the north is a safe tile against Michael.
I was just thinking that if somebody might see that and just impulsively drop it thinking it's completely safe.
There's 2 left in the wall.
Haku, there you go. That's a good safety tile.
Oh, great draw for Christian. He is 1 away. Looks for the 3-so, the east, or the 6-9-so to get into Tenpai. Cody's still not reaching here, but hasn't found a tile too dangerous to push yet. Oh, now a tricky choice. Do we keep the North Tonki, or do we switch to a 4-7-mon weight? The 4-mon is also safe against Michael, but it would drop your value a little bit.
I would keep waiting for this north, I think.
Yeah, since the 7-mon is Suji, it doesn't look like the worst option.
Oh,
Oh, and another Sozu pickup that's going to improve the options a little bit, does it?
but he's got to dump the 6 into Cody.
He drops it, but Cody can't win. Cody has no Yaku.
That's right. But Chris just gets the north. Oh boy.
Oh man,
That's
Michael's
a
going to
Mangon
take the
for
direct
Chris.
hit.
Oh no, that's the best person for Chris to direct hit.
Yeah, so Chris is going to get the 8,000 plus the home buff for 9,500 and Michael's Riichi stick. That is a large swing right there. That's
Oh
20,000 points.
yeah, I forgot Cody didn't have any Yaku there.
Yeah, I think he just wasn't confident enough in the weight to take the Riichi, but didn't want to give up the Tenpai either. I was looking for some upgrades around that Kanchan, of which there are a few.
Yeah, I
But
do
regardless,
agree not taking that reach though. Like
yeah, I think it's just you have 2 people fighting. It's really difficult to justify taking a Riichi Nomi on a bad weight.
Michael's hand looking very good. Dora's 4-pin.
Cody's hand not too shabby either. Chris good draws also. It's looking like Chris is going to be closed.
Yeah.
Christian could open. Ooh.
Oh my god.
Soon, 1 turn after it's dropped. The other one will definitely come out if it's drawn early. And, Christian's target remains the same.
Mm,
He's going after Cody at the moment. Chris and Michael are continuing to fight towards the top. And South 2 is going to be a pivotal hand here. This is going to kind of determine, going into South 3, what people's goals are.
right.
Because up until this point, you have a little bit of wiggle room. There's plenty of hands left. Once you get down to the last 2 hands, you have to think more carefully about positional play.
Agree.
But Michael draws a 3-pin, is 1 away now. Decides to cut the 4-mon in advance. And Cody makes a nice draw of the 5-pin, fills another Ryanman shape, is now 2 away. Potential Itsu. Chris's hand still developing towards a Riichi Nomi at the moment, but can pick up the Dora. So Christian's hand has 5 pairs. It's 1 away, but I can almost certainly imagine him pawning if the tune comes out again.
Mm. Melvin's still dominating table 2.
Yeah, not much of a change since last time we saw it.
Chris gets a
Great
good
draw for
pickup with the
Chris.
7-pin, yep.
Yeah, 1 away now and has good upgrades around the 7-so. Decides to drop the east pair and go towards a Pinfu.
Mm.
I think I would have preferred to maybe drop one of the floating tiles and develop around the 7-so, but this is certainly the easiest way to get better shapes. Christian draws a red 5 pin. Now, the thing is, this red 5 pin goes right next to the regular door too, but Christian would have to sacrifice something in the hand.
Yeah, I think you dump the 5 pin and you abandon it.
I might consider getting rid of the 3/4 so. Gets rid of the 5 mon.
Okay.
Okay, 1 for 1. Makes sense. And
Yeah.
then if you draw the 4 pin, you're not too unhappy.
Yeah, then you're back where you were.
Yeah, and that doesn't
Or
sacrifice
you're
the 7
+1
tails
rather.
either. Chris, no help from this 8 mon. And no pawn from Christian. So it looks like Christian's going to keep this hand closed.
Hmm. That's a bad feeling, dumping a 5 mon and another one with a hand like that. And then, oh, we have a reach from Michael.
Great Dora drawn to Tenpai. And this is going to be a Riichi Pinfu Dora 1. I believe it's on a 5/8 mon weight.
Confirm that in a moment.
Red 5 mon is gone. There's 2 8 mons in Christian's hand, 1 discarded. So there's at least 3 left. 2 mon passes. Yeah, it is a 5/8
Yes.
mon weight. No Ipatsu. And there's another 8 mon in Cody's hand, so there's 2 left actually. Cody draws the red 5, so not what you want to see here. And there's 1 5 mon in Chris's hand. There's actually only 1 8 mon left.
Oh boy.
You really, really don't expect that, even though there's a few out. Christian is in a bit of a pinch, though. No safety. Could drop the Chun Chun and give up entirely.
I don't think you can give up. Not being behind like this.
Yeah, your dealership is gone, and I guess you could bide your time and see if Cody deals in or something, or try and hit Cody in a future hand. I guess that's what he's going to do here. There's still some ways to fight with this hand, since you
Mm.
can triple up the Haku, but it looks like this is a far more conservative approach, which is okay. And here's that Haku. And Chris, starts with the East. Might drop the Haku in the future. It'll be interesting to see if Christian pawns it. I don't think he will, though, given the approach he's taken so far.
Oh, I think the 8 mon's completely dead. Because there's one in the pond and then 3 in players' hands.
Oh, you're right. And then there's 3 5 mons
This
visible right now.
is a good pickup from Chris.
So I
Well,
think it is the 5 mon that's left, actually.
yeah.
And no luck for Michael. And, the 5/8 mon doesn't look fantastic against Michael. He dropped the 4 mon on turn 3, which is an unusual decision over the 2 So usually assume they either have a completed shape in that area or they made an upgrade that doesn't need the 4 mon anymore. And one of those upgrades is the 5/8 mon. We'd call that the Urasuji. All right. Still no luck for Michael. But a nice 6-0 draw for Cody. I think Cody is out of it, though. Probably going to look to drop the 2 pin, the 1 pin, the 1 pin. I don't know. Yeah, goes for the 1 pin Suji.
Yep.
Doesn't want to give up entirely. But it's going to be really hard to fight here. And Chris is 1 away. So here's that Haku. Could see it coming out.
Yeah, it's problematic though. It hasn't been shown, and we're almost at the end of row 2.
Yeah.
It goes
Drops
for
it.
it anyway.
And Christian pauses, contemplating that pawn, decides to pass it and play safe, and is rewarded for the
Yes.
patience.
Yes, he is.
2 away now, and has good chances to fight Michael, given that Michael only has 1 tile left in the wall. And another kind of interesting draw for Chris if he wanted to fight,
Yeah.
but playing it safe. And here we go, 1 away
Oh,
for Christian. What is his path forward? Does he drop the 6 pin and the 5 pin, or does he drop the 7 mon, 8 mon? He goes for the Haku Haku and delays.
will he have enough time to get that handle where it needs to be?
I guess you could pawn the 7 mon, drop the 9 mon. But if there's any development that causes the 8 mon to drop, I think he might just go forward with it. Okay. Chris rejecting that reanimate, still
Yep,
just trying to play around the Riichi. Makes sense. Probably another Haku here from Christian.
absolutely.
And we are in the last row of discards now. Not too many draws left. And it's looking like it might be a draw. I believe one of those 5 is still in the wall,
That's
and
Riichi's
Christian's.
for the 2-5.
Yeah, that's the a Riichi Door 1.
2-5 pin.
4 on the Patsu turn from Michael. Doesn't deal in. Let's see about this sumo, though.
Does
Ah,
not get it.
close.
Very close.
All right. Now, Christian draws his Hatsu after dropping the Chun in the Haku pairs and feels a little bit bad, but it's way too late to have expected a
Yeah.
Shosang in.
Yeah. At this point, you're.
Yeah, you're just trying to step back here, but how are you going to defend against 2 reaches is the question. Probably with the 5, so I think you just give up on the hand. Goes for
Yeah.
the 9 mon. Right, 3 mon. And here we go, another chance for Chris. Hatsu. And that's going to give Christian another safe tile.
Yep.
6 draws remaining. And the Haite tile will go to Cody, who is not in Riichi. So that is a plus for our 2 defenders.
Oh, that is.
Last chance for Chris to draw, and
Ah,
gets
Chris
it.
Sumos. Let's go.
Reach Sumo Pinfu Dora 1. And 1 Uradora for a Mangon.
That is
It's going to be
not bad.
2,000. Yeah, 2,000, 4,000.
Yep. And he's plus 1,000 from getting Michael's Suchi stick.
Yeah, it takes a nice lead of 52,700 going into South 3. And here we have it. Christian in last place with 13,100 is probably still aiming to overtake Cody. Cody is looking to overtake Michael. Michael is looking to escape with the second place or with a few good hands take over first. But I think given the Falcon standings, they're going to try more not to lose the second than they are to get this first. Falcons are currently at negative 9.2.
Mm.
So they don't want to risk, uh, this nice plus 10 that they could get from winning here. Michael is looking to get over 35,000 to make a few more points, of course, but I think first is a little bit outside of that range right now.
Yeah. No, he just. Good direct hit on Cody for Christian. We'll bump him up. If he can get there.
All right, looks like Cody has 3 pairs with 2 consecutive pairs in the Sozu. Could make for a nice Ipeiko shape. Chris's hand is looking like a Riichi Pinfu. Christian, 4 pairs, has door acceptance, probably floating the idea of a Chitoi at the moment. And then Michael over here draws a nice 6 mon for a Manzu Ipeiko. Might look to force a Honitsu here. Meanwhile, at table 2, it
Yep.
looks like Melissa has unfortunately fallen a bit more. Julian has made a slight recovery to 24,300 going into South 3. The tables are moving at very similar paces at this moment.
Yeah, agree. Let's see if Melvin can protect that lead.
Ooh. Christian gets rid of the penchant, doesn't want to keep around 2 bad shapes.
Yeah, I agree. That's a discard I would do.
And Cody's hand is a little bit confused at the moment. There's a lot of overlap in the Sozu, but you already have
Yeah.
2 good shapes there. These ones are always tricky.
Yeah, at this point, I give up on the honors.
Yeah, strength in numbers. The more tiles you have in a shape, the stronger it tends to be. So keeps all that Sozu together for now. We'll maybe resolve it later.
Good
Meanwhile,
pickup for
Christian makes a
Christian.
trip. Yeah, could get a Sananko with the right draws if he's thinking vertically. And Cody makes up another pair too. Could this be a Toitsuba, the mythical pair round? We shall see. And yeah, I mean, Chris's hand at the moment, not bad. You have good upgrades around the Sozu, but probably wants to get rid of that Pinchan, that edge weight. Michael, more floaters, but no progress towards that Honitsu, really. Another pair for Cody. That's going to
Yep.
be 5 pairs, one away from Chitoi.
Ah, we're in this situation again.
Hey, another pair for Chris. There's pairs all around.
Yeah, right?
So it's going to be Chitoi versus Chitoi.
Oh,
Even Michael has a few pairs. That's 3 pairs. It's definitely a Toitsuba. The question is, who's going to pair up the Dora? It's going to be
yeah.
Chris. Is it going to be Cody?
Oh, what a pickup.
Great improvement there. And yeah, still no luck for Christian. That's the problem with Chitoi. It's a bit slow to develop. And you can't call for it. Oh, that is a really, really good pickup for Cody. Because now that opens up the chance of a called Tanyao.
Agree. Hmm, 3 months, send it back.
Yeah, I think if I'm in Cody's place, I'm just calling to keep this dealership. And oh my, what a draw for Michael. Haku and Hatsu pairs, both once dropped. Could easily see them coming out again. We're getting into the middle of the hand now. Cody's contemplating maybe shaving down on that Sozu a little bit, but the 8 is a safe tile to one of the players. And guess Chris thinking about a potential Itsu here. Drop the 9 so it doesn't lose you much. Fortunately, it looks like a lot of the flow has gone from Christian. Had a few cool pickups there, but nothing past that. We're going to see a
Hmm.
chi from Michael moving towards that Honitsu. Would be a
Yeah,
Honitsu Yakuhai. We
I
see
think
the draw of the Chun.
he's confident he can get also some of those honors.
Yeah, absolutely. All 3 of them have been once dropped. And so you think they're probably likely in the wall.
Hmm. Yeah.
There's the first,
Wrong one.
but yeah, wrong one. So I think maybe Shosangen is out the window, but there are still the Haku and the Hatsu to be had.
Oh, Melissa just pushed herself up into third place by 100 points.
All of a sudden, the game is looking very even at South 3 among the bottom 3.
Yeah.
Melvin, of course, still maintaining that lead. Okay, Cody gets a Rion Mendra, but it would be Furry 10 on that one, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see it tossed back.
Mm,
Goes for the 8 so for
okay.
now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, still willing to call that hand anyway. And no luck for Chris. Chris
Yeah.
looking for that 2-5 so or 5-8 mon. 2 so would be the best draw, would give him a Pinfu Itsu. Plus the door. Oh, and a nice improvement from Michael.
Yep. At this point, you toss the tune. It's already gone.
Yeah, that ship has sailed. Man, we've had a lot of hands this game so far where there's just a lot of fantastic starts and really, really exciting things, and then it kind of slows down like this. Players start to get a little bit more cautious of each other.
Yeah.
The wall is not cooperating with anyone right now,
Also,
other than maybe Michael.
the closer you're on a tempai, just the less things fix your hands or make it better.
Yeah.
So.
So Cody draws the 8 pin. You drop the 1 pin here, you move towards a Tanyao Chitoi Dora 3. Man, still no luck for Chris. Chris probably thinking of calling now. 5-8
Uh,
mon,
he
dropping the
get
4 so it'd be a guaranteed Itsu.
Yeah, gets no luck there. But to be honest, with the standings, he's gotten plenty of luck this hanchan.
No, absolutely. A couple of crazy swings back and forth, but now everyone is below 30k but Chris. Cody decides not to pawn there. He's in the last row, wants to keep the safe tiles and move towards that Chitoi.
Mm, mm.
And it just stands still everywhere else.
Well, at least Chris doesn't perceive any danger because a lot of these inside piles up. He pawns the five pin, the
Yeah,
red.
Christian looking for a tempai, maybe even a toy toy depending on the draws. It's a little bit late though, so I think we might be able to see the tempai, but the toy toy seems a little less likely.
Yeah, kids.
And another Manzu draw for Cody. Is it a 9-mon? It is not. It is the
Right.
neighboring 8-mon. Has already dropped it. Uh, I wonder if Cody is a little worried about Christian's hand now that there's been a call. Shoves it anyway. And it gets pawned.
He
Wait,
does.
Tempai for Christian. Little does Cody know that the 9-mon is dead. But Christian is Tempai on 3, so no Yaku. And Michael continuing to move forward with this 1 pin. Probably sees Christian's hand as a Tanyao, so the 1 pin doesn't look like it should deal in. And Tempai for Cody, 3 so. That would be Tanyao Chitoi Dora 3.
Oh, there. Nope. I reacted wrongly.
Oh, so
He's.
close though.
Yeah.
Now, the strongest one away would be to drop the once over here, especially now that you see that the 8-mon is pawned.
Yeah, I agree.
But that gives up to Itsu.
Mm,
Cuts the
yeah.
7 back. Christian just forges ahead. We're going to see a Chi from Michael. That's going to be Tempai, looking for the Haku and the Hatuns really late. They are prone to coming out,
Yeah.
especially from Cody.
Oh no.
Thing is, Cody sees the 6-mon and probably doesn't feel great that you could potentially go into a Manzu Honitsu with it, but the 3 Sodora doesn't look that great against Christian. Uh, counting his savings on his fingers. We'll see. I think personally I'm going to shove the 6-mon back. I think the hand is just too expensive as
Yeah.
the dealer to pass.
Yeah, I agree. You want to wait on the Dora. If you hit it, it's insane.
There's a difference between reckless pushing and pushing because you have a good hand, and this is a good hand to push.
Oh no.
Oh, and he goes out. There's a little bit of a resigned toss to that Haku, but it's gonna deal into the Honitsu Haku for 3,900, I believe.
Yeah.
And we're gonna move into all last. Christian falling behind just that little bit more is gonna make it painful to get back into third place. Last
No,
dealer is Chris. And it looks like the door is a Manzu tile. I believe it's a 7-mon, but we will check in just a moment.
I think you're correct.
All right. Well, Chris doesn't really care about repeating here. It would be nice to rack up some more points, but even if Chris doesn't win this dealership, that is fine. He's probably going home with a first place in game 1.
Oh, if I'm Chris, I do not play this hand game.
Yeah. If the hand develops like really fast, then, sure, I'll go for it. I'll rack up some points. But the second I get a hand that's mediocre, I'm going to fold.
Hmm.
Chris decides that this is a hand where he wants to fight some more, and he pawns that Hatsu, looking to continue the dealership. He's not in a lot of danger. The closest person to him is 20,100 points behind. So as long as he avoids a direct Hanemon hit from Michael, he should be okay.
Good pickup for Michael. Is it the West goes here, maybe? Yeah.
So the current gap between Christian and Cody is 12,300 points. So Christian's going to be looking for a 6,400 point direct hit or a Hanemon Sumo. A Mangan Sumo will not cut it unless a Honba goes on the table.
Yeah.
So for him, it might not be a bad thing if Chris wins and puts that Honba out.
Which is, yeah. No, that math checks.
Yeah. At the moment, I think his best chance at getting a Hanemon is probably a Chitoi Dora 2, because Christian does have a pair of the Dora. Cody's hand is really fast looking, though already one away. And Chris develops. Lower Soso can now pawn into one away. Decides to drop the 3 so acceptance in favor of keeping the 7 pin, maybe looking for
Mm.
improvements around there. There's one away from a 7 pairs for Christian. He's almost met
Well,
his condition.
looks like Melissa lost that third place to Julian, who's now in second.
And Julian, as the last dealer, probably has a good chance to overtake Melvin. Melvin took a small hit there. 30,000 to 48,000 is it's not that hard as dealer. All right, Odie pausing for a little bit here. Lots of good things. Gets rid of the 5 pin. Doesn't want to take this tempai.
Hmm.
31 drop 7, so probably looking to draw around that Pinzu and take the two-sided weight in Sozu.
I don't know if
Christian doesn't manage to pair up.
I fully agree with Chris calling there. I mean, if I'm in this situation, I don't want to repeat. I want this game over with.
Yeah, it's a little tricky to say. Because the Opie Dopes are really far ahead, they don't really gain a lot by taking risks to gain points. So
Hmm.
I'd be inclined to agree with you in this situation. If it was another team, such as the Triad, though, I would definitely be trying to win again and again because they are so far behind, they have to take every point they can get.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm only saying that because of the staggering lead that they do have.
And Christian, another 4 pin, not finding his last pair for Tenpai. Michael's hand is 2 away at the moment.
Yeah.
Could probably be a Riichi Nomi. And Cody has not managed to find Tenpai yet.
Yeah, I think Michael taking a Riichi Nomi is acceptable. Getting second is more than good.
Yeah, currently the gap between Michael and Cody is 9,100, so he is already within Mangan Sumo range. However, if he reaches, that goes down by 2,000 because of the Riichi stick to 7.1.
Chris calls
Still,
the Tuso, pushing his hand further to completion.
yeah, 1 away now. Pretty
We could
wide
dump the
shapes.
Tumon here, no?
Huh?
That's
That's interesting. I wonder
uh
what the thought there is. Let's see if we can't figure it out next time it comes around.
mm,
I feel like, oh, is he forcing like a toy toy?
maybe. That's the only logic I can see.
I feel like that's a bit too much here, but we'll see. Cody is Tenpai. Got the better Ryanman Tenpai for 7 pin for a Richidora 2. Doing the math on whether this is enough to overtake, like
Yeah.
we said before, the gap is 9.1. So on a direct hit, it would be enough. On a sumo, it would also be enough because it becomes a Mangan.
Yep.
Probably deciding whether to open Riichi or not. Well, you're not going to catch up to first place with this hand, so I think I would keep it closed.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's no point to open reach here other than style points.
Yeah. Another concern might be that there's already 4-4-7 pin out, but I don't think there's much more room for improvement here.
Oh, he's
You
mathing.
could, yeah, he might be thinking about the 4-5-6 Sanchoku chance,
There he
but just
goes.
goes for it, and I agree. So we have a 4-7 pin wait for Cody. Now, for Christian, that's going to decrease the gap by 2,000 points. I believe that is still 300 points short of being able to win with a Mangan Sumo. So
Correct.
Christian's still going to have to aim for the Haneman. Draws a 9 pin on the Patsu. That is the Urasuji of the early tossed 5 pin, which is one of the more reliable ones, but he shoves anyway. Nothing
Mm.
to lose at this point.
Oh,
3-mon draw for Michael. Looks good, but decides to fold out with the 6-0. And no Ipatsu.
no e-pots.
So Chris in a little bit of discomfort now after
Yeah.
these calls, but probably not too worried about losing the lead to Cody.
That is the other downside to calling is your defense goes down by 3 every time you do it.
A lot less options to work with. Still no sumo for Cody. Has the option to con the 4 if he draws it. I believe that is still live. Chris draws the 7 pin and deals in. Cody's going to take it, hoping for the Uradora, and does not hit it. That's going to be a Riichi Dora 1. Dora 2 for 5,200. I don't believe that's enough to overtake, unfortunately, but he secures his 3rd place.
Yep.
I'm going to see the
No.
final standings in just a second. And Doing a little pen around the table. Looks like Chris and Michael are very happy with their first and second place. Cody is ambivalent, and Christian a resigned smile at the very end. He played well, but got rather unlucky with those deal-ins. A lot of people winning large hands around him, and him getting some pretty good material, but unable to capitalize on it. The wall was cruel.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
That
looks like the final standings are Christian in fourth place with 6,000 points.
no,
We
no
have
that I
Cody
think
in
that's
sec.
I think that's inaccurate. Chris is the one who dealt in, not Christian.
Ah, yeah, that's correct.
So Chris
If we
is
could,
standing at 47.5. Oh, they're resetting already. Uh-oh.
I am sure they'll figure it out. We can message them
Yeah.
about that as well, but just so that people who are viewing know, it is Chris Lowell that dealt in, not Christian M. Sorry for any confusion on our part. Those names are very, very similar. But the standings will stay the same. It will be Chris in first place. It will be Michael in second. It will be Cody in third, and Christian M in fourth.
Yep,
It
I
looks like
believe.
with 11,200.
Yes. So
Tough, tough game for the Triad.
yeah. I mean, that's Mahjong. You can play completely correctly and still come out in fourth more often than not.
Yeah. Well, as this game finishes up, we'll be looking forward to the results of the second game soon. We're probably going to go on break at this moment.
Wow.
And there you go. The Opie Dopes at 753.5 points. This needs to be updated still, but I'm sure it will be after the stream. But they only extend their lead even further. They are almost untouchable at this point. We are past the halfway point of the season, and the Triad unfortunately falling even further down into their 8th place pit. Hopefully looking to pick up a few first places to maybe climb up to 7th or 6th place by the end of the season.
Even
Well,
even when we move into final games, scores get cut in half if I recall, right?
that's true.
Yeah, not
Even
even
even then,
losing half of that is even just that's still monstrous.
a very, very similar situation to season one, where we saw a very similar trend with the Triad going into the finals, where their scores
Mm,
got halved, but they were still untouchable.
yeah.
Unfortunately, it's the exact opposite for them right now. Well, that is the end of game one. Exciting hands all around. We will be back soon to give you game two. I believe both tables should have finished up or will be finishing very soon. But we look forward to seeing you in a bit. Please stick around for the rest of the stream.
Yep. I believe we are back.
Yes, we are. We are ready for game 2 of session 12 in Brooklyn of N League. We're going to be moving to table 2 with Waben from the Brooklyn Sours, Melvin from Team Yakumen, Melissa from the Doranekos, and Julian from the Destroyers. As an update, in the previous game, Waben took a third place with negative 17.5 overall. Melvin took a second with plus 11.3. He was actually overtaken by Julian in all last, who ended up with 40,300, a swing of 55.3 points for that first place, and then Melissa took a fourth place with 15,900, ending with negative 49.1. So
Wow.
quite a reversal. I didn't think Melvin would be able to get overtaken there, but Julian showed some spirit and managed to get it done in the last dealership.
Yeah, I'm very curious what happened there because Melvin was on a rampage from as early as East 2, was it?
Yeah, and Ace 2, I believe he had 50,000 to 60,000 points already, and it just got dwindled down over the course of the game. Well, we're going to get to see their play in the second Hanchan. I'm especially looking forward to seeing Melissa's play. She may have picked up a fourth, but she is our club's Ho-Oh player, one of several now. Congratulations to Melissa on that. She hit 7 Dawn on 10 Ho not too long ago, so we're going to see some high-level tactics from her. And I'm also looking forward to seeing Julian's play. Julian always has interesting choices.
Apparently interesting enough to overtake Melvin in the last game for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not
So
sure out of these players who I'd want to see most. Wow, Wei been looking very sharp there with a tie and buttoned suit at the table.
wow, I hope the lights aren't heating him up too much. That looks a bit stuffy.
Oh, maybe he had a job interview. Um,
Perhaps. Looks like the players are getting ready now. They're just about to start, and Waben is the first dealer. It is East 1, repeat 0, and it looks like Dora is the 4 pin.
all right, let's get into it.
And what do you think about this starting hand?
Uh, Average. Um,
Yeah,
not something I want to see as. It depends. It's kind of like what I said before. The higher your Shanten number, the more chances for upgrades you get. So the hand might improve rapidly. I think it
Melvin
can.
had a double Riichi chance. Didn't unfortunately draw it, but is already one away with an Anko of the White Dragon. We are back to the cheaty hands already. Great
Yeah,
draw from Melissa on turn 1.
like I said, the dopes put their dog in the table, and it's just feeding the correct hands to everyone or
And you know,
most
it would
people.
make sense to boost up the place 7 team and drag down the others.
Mm, I
Opie
agree.
knows what he's doing.
He does.
Julian with 2 Dora, 2 of the red 5s. Wapen improves the shapes and now looking like a promising dealer hand. Could be a Riichi Pinfu. And Melvin deciding between pairs. Could be the 2-pin pair, could be the 5-pin pair. If you cut the
Mm,
5-pin, you suture trap the 2-pin.
yeah, I think that's the right choice there.
Goes for it. Nice draw for Melissa. Probably
Yep.
going to drop the 1 3-pin over here.
Yep. Opts for the one just in case the three connects up to anything.
Exactly. All right. Not much room. Sorry, not much movement. Yeah, for Waben. But Melvin draws a great tile over here. You drop the 2-pin.
Yep.
You get a 3-sided weight that can accept another door. This could be a monstrous East 1 hand.
Uh, Maybe
And
we're
one away.
starting to see that magic that Melvin worked on the other table.
Yeah. Melissa has a really, really good hand too. Could even pawn into Tempai. And Julian's hand has just progressed. Decides to get rid of the 4-pin Dora in advance. Doesn't want to give up the acceptance of the 3-so just yet.
Hmm.
I guess because Julian already has 2 Dora, he wants to prioritize the Tempai. No luck for Melvin. But he has enough already.
Uh,
So, oh no, unfortunate backfire for Julian. Immediately bidden. Gets that 3-pin draw.
Way
And Waven
Ben.
makes a good draw.
Yes, he does.
He's one away now, has some nice draws around the lower Soza that could give him Pinfu and Ipeko. And oh, is that enough? That's four pairs now, isn't it?
Mm. Don't fall into the pair trap. There you go. We saw that backfire too many times last game.
And now we have one away for Wabin. That was my bad before. So everyone is catching up now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 7-0, no help. So Julian's problem right now is he's overblocked. He's going to have to get rid of one of those blocks eventually, but Wabin finds Tempai first, even though he had the most lackluster starting hand.
Yes, he did.
2-5 on wait. And now Melvin is in trouble unless he gets rid of that 9-mon. Now the 5-mon is locked in, but before, if Melvin had kept that 9-mon, he could have potentially drawn the 8-mon into Tempai, reached with the 5-mon, and dealt in.
Correct. Absolutely.
And Melissa decides to work around, dropping the Hatsu pair. Julian breaks a Rianmen. So players are, for the most part, respecting this dealer Riichi.
Yep, as they should. The worst feeling you have is on the very first hand of the game, dealing into a dealer Riichi.
And Melvin moves forward with 2-pin. So Melvin's hand, I feel like it might have benefited from pushing a little bit, but now it's getting dicey.
Yeah.
We said don't fall for the pair trap, but here we go with 4 pairs again, and a
Mm,
backfired Dora. Yeah, Julian's in a tough spot here. This is really not a hand that's progressed far enough to fight, but he doesn't have any safe tiles, and he deals the 2-mon. Riichi, Pinfu, Ura 1, that's going to be 5,800 as dealer.
yep. We're off to a great start for the Sours. Whoop.
Yeah, both the Sours and Doraneko are looking to buff their points up a little more and to rise into um, the top 4 or stay there.
Got a 8
And
so
both the Yakumen
Dora.
and the Destroyers want to climb out of the negative.
Mm. It's so Dora dealer with a pair of the Tune and a red 5 with some
Yeah, but
adjacency.
keeping the 9 so for now for that Dora acceptance.
Hmm.
And Melvin starting with what looks to be a 5-6-7 Sancho chance if that 5-pin develops in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa with 4 pairs and 2 Dora could go for Chitoy, could call for Toy Toy, and Julian is 2 away for potential Tanyao.
I got some speedy hands here.
Great draw from Melvin, fills in that San Menchan.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your take on Melissa's hand? Are you going to try and open this for Toy Toy?
Uh, Me personally, I wouldn't. I can't say for if she would. I haven't seen Mosa play too much outside of just streams on N League.
I
Um,
think Melissa will probably keep this closed. She's more of a men's end player,
yeah,
someone who doesn't like to call much. And unless you're starting the pawn from the Dora, uh, I don't know if it would be worth it. Some of the
yeah,
pairs look a little hard to call.
yeah. I myself am also somewhat of a closed player as well, so if I had that hand, I would keep it closed. I'll say that much.
Oh, Julian finds Tempai, Riichi, Pinfu, Dora 1. Looking for the 3-6 mod.
There we go. Getting some revenge there for the points he lost.
Wavin
Hopefully,
pawned the
good.
Wavin pawned the tune earlier, but is left with a floating 3 mod now.
Mm. Yeah, the floating 3 is very dangerous. Those points would just flow back and forth, and now you have the Amba on the table as well, adding even more value.
Yeah, that 1,500 point Homba produces a swing of 3,000 points on a direct hit. You gotta remember whenever you direct hit someone to double the points. So, let's see what happens. Melvin is still developing nicely.
Mm.
I believe he is 1 away now. And Melissa is just breaking up some shapes, trying to play around this Riichi by dropping a pair. If one passes, the second one will pass for sure. So that's a good defensive strategy if you are out of safety, but still
Yep,
need to fold.
absolutely.
And Melvin with a calm east over there. So Melissa, once again, lots of pairs and no safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a tough position.
Yep, I've made that face before.
All right, 2-1 comes out. And now Waben draws this 9-mon. That 3-mon is looking looser and looser.
Oh no.
The 1-2 have passed, and the 3 comes
Back it.
out.
There it goes. The back and forth.
So Riichi pin Fudora 13900 plus a repeat for 5400.
Yeah.
So pretty much an even transaction. I believe Waben will be up 400 points after that.
Correct. You know what? Not a terrible outcome at all. But as you called it, the sticky three was, or the floating three was the problem. Right.
And wow, if this isn't a bamboo forest, I don't know what is.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I would say my first, I can't see the Dora, but 9-mon would be my instinctual first discard here.
I mean, wow, yeah, you have already 4 blocks in Sozu. This is a do or die Manzu Honitsu or Chinitsu.
Oh,
Looks like
what
the
is
door
it?
is in Manzu.
Is it a
Believe it is
one?
a 1-mon.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
1-mon. And Waben has one of those, but his hand is so disjointed with only 2 pairs. Not looking great.
Or that's
Melvin actually
down.
is going to cut the ones cut south here. Melissa's hand has the chin pair and also 2 of the Dora. I believe maybe even 3. I have to check that again. And Waben makes a 3rd pair.
Oh
Oh
boy.
my. There we go.
All
This
right.
is explosive. Will we see a Chinitsu Ryan Peiko?
All right, audience, get ready. Here's your time to start studying Chinitsu weights. As Melvin's hand develops. Find the weight.
Those are always the worst with all those overlapping shapes.
Yep.
Melvin's going to simplify a little bit by calling Chi, is now 1 away from Chinitsu.
Yeah, I
Looking
can
for the
agree.
1, the 4, and the 7 so. That's going to give Melissa a pair up of the 5 so. She has 3 Dora. Unfortunately, that red 5 pin is a bit loose at the moment, but
Yep.
here we go.
Uh,
A 5
um,
pin.
yeah.
You know, the 8 so pawn isn't even that suspicious. I mean, Melvin did discard the 4-mon and the 5 pin. So you maybe have an inkling that they're going for Chinitsu, but you don't expect them to be this close.
I mean, I would expect Hanitsu, maybe Genitsu might be on the table, but not guaranteed until you see a bit more of it.
Yeah. Oh, we've been developing the shapes. Melissa's going to pawn over there, take the
Yep.
1 away, hopefully
Abs-
able to improve shapes around the red 5 pin.
oh,
Great draw for Julian.
absolutely great draw.
So this is really good because now there's a chance, albeit slim, at a 5-6-7 Sanshoku.
Yeah. But yeah.
3
Oh,
so. Yeah,
so
cuts
comes
the only
out.
floating tile. And Melvin is going to pawn there. I believe that is Tempai. We gotta take a look at the hand again. No, it isn't. I don't believe that actually helped the hand that much. But perhaps he's angling towards a Ryuiso?
Ah, if he did, then does the Hatsu drop make any sense?
That's true.
With two out, well, he put the second one out. Yeah, no, it he could.
It, it, it looks like it may have narrowed the tempi a little bit. I mean, you can pawn the 2 so also, but you lost the good shape 1-4 so I wonder how this will affect the hand speed. Now,
Yeah.
Julian might not get the 5-6-7 Sanshoku anymore, but sure can get the 6-7-8 by dropping the 5 pin and the 9 pin.
Mm.
Uh, Contemplating this decision a bit. Oh, actually overlooks it.
He does.
Or perhaps looking to play a little bit safer, but the 5 pin has passed twice by now. Interesting.
We've been still
And
holding on to this Dora, this distant Dora.
yeah, looking to inject some value into that hand. All right. Oh, this is an improvement for Melissa. Has access to the 3-6-0 into Tempai now, but would have to drop the red 5 pin. It has passed twice, though. She thinking whether
Yeah,
the 4 pin is live in the wall, just goes for it. Makes sense.
yeah. And terminal Dora's always kind of hard to deal with. There's a good chance she might just be able to pawn and get that Dora back. Julian reaches.
1-4 mon. Wait, Riichi pin through. Dora 1. Chance on the 1 mon.
Yeah, I don't think that one mon's ever leaving Wei Bin's hands. He's I don't
Yeah.
think he's the type of player to do that.
This 6 pin might leave Melvin's hand, though. The alternative is the 1-so. And one thing I overlooked with Melvin's pawn is it does open up a sticky 1-away on the 7-so, but the problem is that the 8-so is pawned, so it's not super duper good.
Yeah,
Oh, Melissa backfires this 4 pin, not feeling too great, and shoves it
yeah.
forward anyway, no safety. So yeah, Riichi pin for Dora 1, chance for another Dora on the 1-mon win.
Mm.
3 in Wabin's hand, 1 discarded, none in Melvin's,
Yes. Draw nothing but Pinzu.
and 2 in Melissa's. So I believe there are 2 left in the wall. And there's Tempai for Melissa, 1-mon and 5, so we could see a double run on the 1-mon. I
Yep.
don't think it'll come out.
The last one's in Wei Bin's hand. I don't think he's chucking it.
I think there's 1 left in the wall. The
Oh.
only person I could possibly see dropping it, though, is Melvin, and right now we have a 1-mon
Oh my
at the
god.
open Riichi. Melvin certainly isn't dropping it anymore.
Oh my.
And, you know, despite the fact that there are 3 Riichis here, Melvin still has a stake in the game. He has H, he needs to 1 away. This is the battle for the 1-mon. And there's Tempai. It's a 4-7-so and 2-so wait.
What a hand.
Yeah, so all 4 players Tempai now. Melissa gets the 3-mon, pushes it. Oh, 7-pin looks scary, but you
Oh.
push. I believe it actually might have been safe. Yeah, it did pass. That was Webin's Riichi tile. And the 1-so is not the round tile.
Yeah, we're in speed Mahjong here. People are they're just gonna draw until they get what they need, I feel.
Oh, close with that 6-so also. Close with the 8-so. Everyone's skirting around those Janitsu tiles. 9-so. That should pass.
Yep.
Where's that last 1-mon?
Chat going triple Ron. It would be so funny.
Oh, there's the 1-mon. It's gonna kill Melvin's hand. He's not allowed to drop the 1-mon into the open reaches, so he drops the 2-so.
That is restraint, but yeah, he knew it would be suicide. Well, I mean, it's an open reach, yeah, of course.
I wonder if the Riichi wasn't open, if he would deal into the potential triple roam there.
Oh yeah. Uh,
Oh man, we'll never know. And Melissa pushes.
that means Weiben's completely dead.
A bit of consideration there, thinking if there's a way to bring this back to Tempai, perhaps with a Toy Toy and a Doratanki.
Oh,
So I believe Wabin's weight is dead, and Melissa's weight is dead.
yep.
So we're just looking out for that 4-mon. And pause here. Is that a west? The west is pretty okay looking. That 4-0 would have been a run if Waven's Open Riichi hadn't stopped Melvin, but we're going to see 3 players Tenpai. That's going to be Melissa, Waven, and Julian. And
That was,
Melvin's Miracle Chinitsu is unfortunately down the drain thanks to that Open Riichi, though it did save him a huge triple round deal-in.
yes, that was an electrifying hand there.
And we go into E3. There are 2 Riichi sticks and 1 Homba on the table, so there's a total of 3,500 up for grabs. The Dora is, I believe, the 7-so.
Hmm.
And a pretty good hand for Melissa. She has Dora Acceptance and already 2 completed shapes. But what is this? Julian is already 1 away. Look for 3-6 Sha and 8-pin, I believe.
The dog is at
Oh,
it
Wapen is
again.
already 1 away.
Yeah.
2-pin and 8-mon.
This table's got that dog in it, I'm telling you.
Meanwhile, at the other table, it looks like Christian is in second place. Michael took an early lead with 35,200, and the other players are not too far behind. Currently, Chris is in last. Well, there goes the first West no pawn. There would be no Yaku. And Melvin pairs up the North. Ooh,
Ooh.
Melissa. Okay. Yeah, the Itsu is a bit of an illusion there because you need a pair still and you don't have enough spare blocks.
Yeah, I have a feeling that hand's gonna gravitate towards Tanyao.
Yeah, maybe Tanyao, maybe shift towards Pinfu. But for
Mm.
now, she prioritizes the good weight. Weibin looking to potentially improve the Mansu shape with that 5-mon. I believe it did. Oh, now an interesting point for Melissa here is whether you discard the 1-mon or the 4-pin. I think the 1-mon is the way to go. That way, if you
Agree.
draw the 5-so or the 7-so, you get Pinfu.
Yep. I think that is the most efficient discard.
Oh, decides to throw it back. Maybe not confident in that 4-7-pin weight.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
it's really interesting. That'd be something I wanted to ask her about. And yeah,
yeah.
Weibin's 5-mon draw did improve the 1 away quite a lot. It's 3-6-mon, 8-mon, and 2-pin to Tenpai.
Yes.
That elusive Ryanmen Kanchan shape that is so often overlooked. And no help for Julian. Julian is 1 away, still looking for that 3-6-0 8-pin and Sha. I think it is only Melvin who is not 1 away at this point. He is 2 away,
Yeah.
but not far behind. All right, so Julian with the option now to cut the West-West in exchange for the Kanchan on the 4-pin.
I think you do that in this case. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a shift to a 3-4-5 Sanshoku, and if you draw the 4, you get Pinfu.
Yeah.
We've been a little hesitant with that 6, so it's Dora adjacent, but you already tossed the 4 and has a completed shape in the Sozo with 2 Dora.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and a great upgrade for Melissa.
That is true. Now the one mon absolutely has to go here, no?
Yeah, that is the face of I have to make an ugly choice now. I think I would drop the 1-mon as well. You want that Dora acceptance. I don't think I'm too unhappy if I end up on the Nobiton, the 1-4-so-8, but it looks like it is 3 times dropped, so it's not very good.
Right.
No matter how you cut it, though, this hand is not fantastic if you draw into your sequence first.
Drops it as predicted.
And
There
Julian
goes.
improves once more.
Yes, he does.
Nice little bit of Kodagaishi action over there. Now, if I'm Weibin, well, I guess I throw the 3-pin out because there's 1 left. But if the 3-pin was live, I might choose to cut away that Kanchan and the Manzu and prioritize the weaker shape.
Mm.
I think it's pretty even Steven in this case.
Yeah.
Julian, another great draw. Tossing the 4-so here gives him the best chance at Pinfu. And, despite the fact that there are 2 2-pin out, Weibin's 1 3-pin weight doesn't look bad. From perspective of someone trying to defend against his Riichi, the 2-pin doesn't look like the worst tile in the world to push. see how close his Riichi is to that 3-pin discard. That'll affect a lot too. Melvin unfortunately has pretty much halted progress at this point. A few backfires. Melissa gets another chance to correct the shape to a guaranteed pinfu by dropping the 6-8 so. Might be the choice here with the 1-4 so being so dead on the table,
Mm,
but wants that door acceptance.
yeah. A hard decision, but ultimately probably the right one.
Hmm. Well, we started with 2 people each on 10 and no one is Tenpai going into the middle of row 2.
Yeah, much slower hand compared to the last one.
And now another shape decision, but Melissa continues on course with her original plan. Julian may be thinking about whether he can cut the 8-9 mon here and go for Tanya.
Whoa, Chris and South won and fourth by a sizable amount. Table two.
Looks like Christian took the lead, perhaps able to get a first and nullify that last fourth. We'll keep you updated on that. All right, so Julian gets a 9-pin. That'll move him to a headless one away, but he rejects it. He wants that pinfu. And we're moving into row 3 soon. Still nothing for Melvin. And there we go. That is Tenpai.
Yes, it
And
is.
Melissa takes the Tanyao Tenpai on the 3, so there's already 2 in her hand. So there's just 2 left.
I think it's the right call to keep this Dom at 10.
Yeah, the 1-4 so weight doesn't look very good. And you can always upgrade the weight and change. There's 2 3-sos left in the wall. Haku would be a nice Tonki, but she is furry 10 on it. Ooh, very flashy discard by Julian.
Mm.
And, oh, Melvin gets that red 5-pin. Swaps it for the 8-pin. Still one away.
Up.
And there's the sumo. Tiny out sumo Dora 1. That's going to be 2,000 is 2,500 all.
Not bad.
Not at all. Plus, she collects those 2 Riichi sticks that were there before. This will give her a pretty good lead going into E3, repeat 3. Sorry, repeat 2. There are now 3,000 points worth of home on the table. Melissa is at 40,501st, and Dora is the 5 mon.
Yeah, you can almost treat
This,
this as like if you're already plus almost 2.5 Han already just by Hamba if you win. It's pretty crazy.
yeah, and Melissa gets a fantastic first draw of the 6 mon, filling in her Dora Kanchan shape. Still has a few rough shapes, but much better shape after this.
Mm. Melvin's hand
Yeah,
not terrible.
yeah. Not super exciting, but looks like it can develop towards a Riichi.
At this
Julian's
point,
is pretty interesting.
yeah. At this point, if you got a fast hand, you're heavily favored at this point.
Yeah, this is a case where you might want to keep your Yakuhai around a little bit longer if your hand doesn't look like it can open yet.
Yeah.
Because being able to open and just steal that away is so valuable. So Julian, has that Ipeko chance. But there is also overlap with that penchant for the 7, so that being said, this is no time to be picky. Just take whatever you get first. That shape is really, really good if you draw the 7 first. That you have a perfect, well, not a perfect one away, but a great one away with guaranteed pinfu, a chance at Ipeko.
Mm.
And Melissa's going to call fast, moving towards that Tanyao.
Yeah. Extra
This is
good for
really,
her.
really great.
Yeah. Get to keep
Yeah,
dealer. Has a Dora.
now open on the bad shapes and fix them,
Yeah.
and 3,000 in the middle. It can be hard to compete with that. So we have to see how stingy Melvin will be with feeding her tiles.
Yeah.
When you don't have speed, you gotta defend and keep those sticks in the middle.
Agree.
There's one of the 7 so that Julian wants. Gonna help Waben out a little bit. And no luck for Melvin now. While Melvin hasn't been getting good draws, that also has unintentionally been given. That also unintentionally slows down Melissa a little bit because he has no reason to cut the good tiles from his hand.
Good pickup
And
from
wow,
Julian here.
fantastic. That was the best one that he could have drawn in this situation.
I think he dumped the Hatsu here. Maybe the 6-mon.
Yeah, it depends on how much you want to commit to this Ipeko. Because that 6-mon is a Dora connector.
Yeah.
And if you draw a 5-mon, it becomes more efficient to cut the 5/6 so out.
Yeah.
But we're getting into row 2 now. It could be risky to keep around.
Does cut
Size
it.
Sasaki-giri. Yeah, Weibin is in a state where he has to think about slimming down at some point. That 5-mon is the Dora, but his hand is just not progressing very much. And we're starting to hit the Tempai zone.
Ooh.
So you don't want to get stuck there.
Oh boy. Julian reaches.
4/7, so wait. He might have been considering a Dama there for a second, but the tile was already going sideways and he committed to it. So Riichi Pinfu, Dora 1, possible Ipeko. And that 3,000 points in the middle makes this a large hand to deal into.
Oh yeah.
Melissa, already having called, is in a tough spot here at this 9-so draw. Might just have to push forward. It's 1 away, and you're the dealer. But you have a lead. You don't want to give up that lead, but what safety do you have? And the 9-so comes out. No Ipatsu for Julian. 8-so gets pawned by Melissa. She shoves the 6-so. Is now on a 3-pin wait for Tanyao Dora 1. And 3-pin is safe to Julian. Almost thought Waben was about to drop it.
Got another electric hand going on here.
I think Waben and Melvin probably just trying to stay out of the way at this point.
That would be if I were Melvin, definitely. And also Weibin. Just let them fight.
Absolutely. So the question is whether Waben is going to find it in him to shove the 3-pin in because it's safe against the Riichi, or if he's going to think that it's too suspicious against Melissa, who is open choice for Tanya.
Hmm.
I believe that's currently his only safe tile other than this one so that he just passed, though. So I have a feeling that he really doesn't want this 3-pin out of his hand.
Yeah.
Melvin with a very calm 9-mon, 9-mon, 9-mon. One more T. And Dora Suji 2-mon gets pushed. That was a early 3-mon from Julian, so it didn't look too.
Ooh.
Oh, and now Waben starts with the 1-mon. Still working
Yeah.
around. I believe that's back to 1 away for Melvin. Oh, this 3-so looks so bad. But you just gotta push everything.
Whoa, Chris has flipped even further into last place.
Oh,
Nearing.
Christian getting his revenge.
Yeah.
There can only be one Chris. This could be one of the larger hits the Dopes have taken in recent history. I don't think it'll change much, but it is a shakeup.
It is a shakeup.
And, oh, red 5-mon. That's 2
Ooh,
of the reds gone now.
that's the double Dora as well.
Waven contemplating taking the pawn here. Melvin doesn't look too happy about that idea. And there we go. Chitoy 1 away
I
for
don't
Waben.
Yeah,
with two Dora.
I don't think Julian can win at this point anymore. I think his weights are locked up in people's hands. I don't think they're gonna budge.
Now, a lot of the Sozo has passed, but the 5 So has not, and the 4-7 So has not. Does Melissa think it's a large enough obstacle that she should drop the Tempai here with the 5 Mon? She is in the lead.
Yeah.
There's only a few more turns left to get through, but can she fold reliably? I think there's a chance.
Like complicated.
Like the 8.
Ah, yeah, I think she's decided to fold.
Yeah, or at the very least work around. The 2 So and the 8 So she pawned, so you don't really expect them to be on a 5-8 So weight with the Riichi. The 2-5 So they can still be on, though. A Weibin is this Tempai? It is
Wow.
Tempai, waiting on the 7 So Tonki.
The moment Melissa drops her weight for 3 pin, Wei Bin shoves it for his own weight. Impressive.
And oh, that's the 3 So. That's Suji. Already passed 3 times. Last 2 draws after this.
I like how Wei Bin showed the tile to the camera despite not reaching, indicating to the table that he is indeed ready.
That is a funny thing. I gotta pay attention to that next time I'm out.
Yeah, don't you didn't reach. Don't be flashy for the camera, folks.
Oh, Melissa pausing on this 5 pin, perhaps thinking
Mm,
that she can shove the 6 pin, or even the 5 So that she was hesitant about before. 5 So passes. 7 So shifts the draw
oh,
so that Julian gets the sumo, reach sumo pinfu. And even though there's no Ura, that 3,000 points extra is going to hurt. That's going to be 700, 1,300 plus 1,000 extra each. Or
yeah.
1,700, 2,300, I believe.
Who would have gotten that 7 if she didn't shift it? Would it have been Wei
Uh,
Bin?
she would have gotten that
She would
7,
have
and
gotten
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
think she would have pushed it.
Yeah.
I, oh, man.
Yeah.
And just like that,
That was a heck of a hand.
East 4, no repeats. Dora is the 7 pin. And Julian has a pretty solid looking starting hand with Dora and decent shapes in the Pinzu and Sozu. Manzu leads.
Yeah, I'd be pretty happy with Julian's opening hand. This one a little less though.
Yeah. Weibin's best shot is probably to pawn the south and go for the fast hand.
I agree.
Melvin, not bad. Nice Dora draw on the first turn to fill in a
Ooh,
Kanchan.
yeah,
And Melissa, very average.
Wei Bin getting comments from the chat. Loving the suit.
There you go.
Fresh sharp,
Three
get
pin draw.
rewarded.
So Julian prioritizing upgrades and shapes over 9 mon. And oh, Weibin drops a 2-4, so he is going to use. And I think, yeah, Melissa is 1 away now. Right now, I think it's Riichi
Ooh,
only.
yep.
Oh,
No
let's
luck
see.
for Wei Bin.
Yeah. Julian paired up the Haku. There's already one out, though.
Uh,
Oh, and
Melvin
oh, that's
gets,
another Yakuhai pair.
yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone is poised to call now, other than Melissa. Oh, accidentally knocks over a tile from the wall.
Oh. Just one tile is fine.
It's
Forget the
fine, it's fine.
forget the limit where it becomes a problem. I think it's 4, 4-3.
Yeah, once you're knocking over like a good chunk of the wall, you gotta redeal and get a Chombo. Or we've been continuing to force that 7-pin usage in aggressively. And, despite those exciting hands, the point spread is not too terrible. No one has gone above 40k yet. No one has gone below 20k. And it's only East 4, so it's anyone's game. Beautiful draw of the 7 mon for Julian. Probably going to cut the 8-9 So here. Maybe a 6 pin. Actually, 6-pin to lock in the door is looking quite good.
Yeah, it is.
Well, gets rid of the bad shape.
Once though, not helping Wei Bin at all.
The benefit of keeping the 6-pin there is that you can draw another Dora,
Mm.
and Melissa improves to a better Ishan 10. Still would be a Riichi Nomi though.
Oh,
So let's see, what is Melvin doing over here? I believe Melvin was 2 away, but has now dropped the West pair. It's an interesting choice because Melvin is the West player.
yeah, I wonder if he's sensing fear. Like maybe he's sensing people are starting to get ready.
Yeah,
He's
there's
opting to
already one
bail.
West. Yeah, there's like one West out already. Um, but I feel like until you have adequate material to replace it, I might want to keep it around a little bit longer.
I'd
Would have been
agree.
very happy to call.
I would agree.
Yeah. See, we're still chasing that Haku in the wall if we're Julian fans.
A
And this is
decent
one away
pickup.
for Waben.
Yeah.
So we've seen for the most part that all 4 of these players have a willingness to push into the second row. Very, very proactive, high participation rate players. A lot of people will get to the second row, their hand doesn't develop, they just give up right away, but all 4 of these are going full steam ahead.
Mm.
And it looks like Melvin may have picked up that Tanya upgrade. Melissa now has a chance at Ipeiko. So, okay. Now this is tricky for Waven. 7-pin is the Dora, 5 mon is the Dora, but the 8 mon is an upgrade. Shoves it back. This is really a good example of Waven's greed. It's the classic kind of PO style play that you would expect from the old guard of Mahjong.
Yeah. Oh, I remember those days.
Yeah. Let's see. Melissa stuck on this 5-pin. I think it's probably too difficult to use. The
I
3/4
yeah,
pin is dropped.
I think you throw it.
This is sad. It's not worth a chip here, don't worry. And Julian's gonna cheat. He likes that.
Yeah, he does. Oh,
Oh,
this
it's a
a
very good draw.
this a reach.
I think you probably have to Riichi here. One of your upgrades is Furry 10, and you have the red 5.
Senpai
Right.
for the 6th mon.
So it'd be a Riichi Dora 1. Non-dealer 2,600 with Ipatsu could be
And
5,200.
potential Ura goodies.
Yeah. Melvin draws at 9-pin, and it looks a little bit nasty because the 7-pin is the Riichi tall, but shoves it back anyway. Keeps the 1
Mm.
away. And Julian is happy to continue. Doesn't have anything too dangerous to push yet. Alright, no Ipatsu. Another Dora pickup, but, it's a safe tell. So now players are seeing, hey, there's 2 Dora out. And maybe they're a little bit more confident in pushing. And Julian is Tenpai. He's on 5-so, and Haku, only the Haku can be 1 on.
Yeah.
I believe the 5-so is dead, 1 in Waben's hand, 1 in the pond, and there's 1 Haku left in the wall. Take a look for the 6-mon in a second. Looks like there's 1 in Melissa's hand, and there are none discarded. And there's 1 in Julian's, so it's 2 tiles versus 1 tile
Yeah.
as we go into row 3. I think the Haku would come out relatively easily too, unless a player had 100% safe tiles.
Mm.
Melissa is still maintaining the 1 away, and then Julian gets stuck with this 9-so, but shoves it anyway. Julian's the dealer, but Waben draws the 6-mon first. Oh, and 1 Ura 2 for a Mangan. Reach Sumo Dora
Nice.
2. 2,000, 4,000.
Nisen Yonsen.
And that's going to shake things up a little bit as Julian takes the 4,000 Oya Kaburi, the penalty for being the dealer when someone else sumos. So our new first place player is Melissa with 36,000. We've been close behind going into South 1, Dealership 2. Dora's the 7 pin.
Oh boy. Chris is falling further from grace. Christian is taking
Uh-oh.
everyone's getting a turn at Chris, it seems.
This is the opposition has had enough of the Opie Dopes antics and they are taking their loans back.
Yeah. Let's see if he can stem the bleeding somehow.
All right, Melissa's hand looks kind of interesting in the Sozo. Julian has the South pair. Now that we're in South, he can pawn that. He has Dora access, but the hand is otherwise a little bit slow. Needs to build a few more blocks. And Wabin. Oh, Wabin's not in bad shape. Likewise, Melvin, lots of pairs. Four pairs, not bad. Still a little bit slow. It's probably going to be a much less dynamic hand than the last. Okay. Dora. Oh, Wabin's
Ooh.
going to keep it, right? Wabin
Oh,
has
he
to
has
keep
to.
it. Has a 7A9 Sanchoku chance too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit far away, but if you use the 7 pin with the 3 9 pins, then it is possible.
Look at this hand. I'd be
Yeah,
pretty
this
happy
is
in Melissa's shoes.
yeah, Melissa's been getting a lot of hands that are kind of like problems you'd see in a what would you do book. We have a lot of very conflicting choices that look similar. So Wabin drops the Sanshoku chance for a 2-3 shape. I'm not sure if I read it correctly, but I think there's another Sanshoku chance in the Manzu, the 3-4-5.
I think so.
Take a look in a second. Julian not able to get that south yet as we go towards the end of row 1, but he has developed his Manzu shapes a lot. Wonder if he is prioritizing a chance at a Manzu. Honitsu has been sloughing off these Sozu and Pinzu tiles. And yeah, looks like Wabin's going to cement 3 mon as the pair. Doesn't want to get rid of the Dora just yet, though.
Hmm. I guess the issue you have there, cementing the 3 mon as a pair there, is if you do pick up the 8 pin.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit awkward if you end up on a Champon or something like that with the Dora. I guess if you get the 8 pin, you get a 3-sided weight for the 6 pin, 9 pin, and 3 mon, but it's not that fantastic.
Right.
Gonna see, Julian draws another Manzu tile, drops another Pinzu, definitely angling towards that Honitsu. I think Melvin is the closest, though. He is 1 away at the moment.
See if you can clean it
Uh,
up.
yeah, I need to see 6-0, 7-0, 2 mon, or 5-8 mon. It reduces the Ishan 10 a little bit. Can no longer accept the 7-0.
See, Melvin has a hand where
Maybe,
I'd start calling for Toy Toy, maybe.
yeah, perhaps that's the idea. And here's that 7 pin draw.
Well,
And out it goes.
I'm not sure.
I guess,
Hmm. Oh,
yeah, I was
got
wondering
it.
about this.
Got reach for Melvin.
Yeah, if he was maybe angling towards the Sananko or Suanko, gets the Tenpai, waiting on the 6-0 and the 2-mon Shabo. Looks like there are 2 of them in Melissa's hand. There is 1 2-mon in Julian's hand. There is 1 2-mon in Wabin's discards. They are dead unless someone decides to discard one,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't really look safe. So Wabin's stuck here for a little bit. Has the door pair and is the dealer. Wants to push, but the 6 pin doesn't look very kosher.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, when you see an early 5 pin discard, the 1-4 and the 6-9 get a little more dangerous, and the 1 has already passed, so you assume that the 6-9, especially with it being around the Dora, is not very fun. That being said, the 1 so it doesn't look much better.
I think I just throw the other 3 men here and try to get more information.
I might try that. Or the 5 so Nakasuji.
Yeah, I goes with
Both
the
look
one,
good.
so
Oh, no sumo. We're not gonna get Melvin catching a sumo anytime soon. His blade's
yeah.
dead. No Shirapochi here. And Julian, having hedged that Honitsu, has lots and lots of safe honors to try out.
Hmm.
All right. So yeah, folds around the table. It's I think a hand where we're going to go to a draw.
Yeah.
There's a significant amount of Suji being shown now too. And oh wow, there has been a bit of a shakeup. Chris has made it
Ah,
back positive.
Chris
1,100.
is fighting against those who have bullied him. Let's see if he. I'm assuming he's gonna be last dealer. He might have a chance to run it back.
Yeah. Table 2 is currently in South 3 Cody's dealership. Cody's at 35,700. It looks like a few of the points were taken from Michael and given back to Chris.
Hmm. From updated
And
information, he sumoed a 4-pin Kanchan Dora 5 while Charlin was
wow,
in Riichi.
that sounds about right.
Wow, yeah, that is an Opie Dope maneuver.
And we enter the third row over here. Yeah, there's just no way I see Melissa dropping this 6-0 unless it maybe becomes Naka Suji.
Oh God,
And the Tumon and Julian's hand could potentially come out, but it doesn't seem likely.
yeah, it doesn't. I need to get another look at Julian's hand, but it might develop into something. Not much time left though.
No. Every player has about 4 discards left.
Yeah,
And Julian is just folding out immediately there.
yeah, you
Doesn't want
just
to get mixed in with this.
yeah, you just give up on this.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, those 2 consecutive helpful draws from Melissa, but really, really no reason to push. So we're probably going to see 3 players no 10 over here. Melvin's going to go up by 3k, which is going to threaten Julian a little bit. Julian has the last dealership, though, so as long as he stops Melvin from going on a rampage, should be okay.
Right.
And we're in the last 7 draws now.
Oh,
Oops. Julian accidentally knocks over the next tile. It was not seen, though. Not a problem. Players pause for a second there. Ah, it seemed like it was just a late switch.
hmm.
No help with that 8-mon for Melvin. Fortunately,
Yep.
Melvin was not able to get even a Suji trap.
Yeah, I think these players are home safe.
Yeah, one more draw left, which is scary, but Melvin has no chance. And we go to a draw. One player 10 by Melvin. Yeah, it's unfortunate that Riichi was dead on arrival, but I think it is a really good Riichi to take.
Yeah, I agree. It's offsuit Riichis are always a plus in my book, especially with a table like this where people are going to you know try to read into discards more than average.
South 2, one repeat and one Riichi stick in the middle. Dora remains to be seen. Melvin's dealership starts with
This
a few pairs.
Mystery
Not the
Dora.
most inspiring hand, though. Is this a Melvin Kokshi special? No, it isn't.
Got a minor update. Chris is back in the hole again. Looks like a 5-pin Dora.
Oh man, yeah, Christian took even more points, is now at 62,000.
Chris is
So,
fighting for his life over there.
yeah, he got the funny number, though. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, Melissa here with the Anko of the Haku has the ability to call all those bad shapes away, but
Yep.
Julian is Not looking too bad himself. One Dora. It is a bit of a slow hand, though. This is no longer the round. You'd excited to have this in East and South. It's kind of like, oh, okay. Weibin's hand looking like it is developing towards a kind of Tanyao-ish direction, but it's still very slow. Great draw from Melissa. And another 6-man Kanchan draw in a row from Julian.
Incredible.
Now approaching. The dog is working overtime in that table.
Right?
Out of context, this is going to sound so weird.
Yeah.
All right. So Julian is one away, looking for the 1-so, 2-so, 8-so, and East. One of the Easts just came out, and a 2-so just flowed into Weibin's hand. It's going to be a tough tempai. And there's two 1-sos and a 2-so in Melvin's hand. And there's an 8-so in Melissa's hand. Yeah. Unfortunately, Julian is drawing pretty dead from the start. Even if he gets tempai, it's going to be a very poor weight. And there we go, the pawn from Melvin. Trying to keep this dealership and collect that Homba. Takes the south. Oh, but this is a great improvement for Julian.
Yes, it
Drop
is.
the 8-so here.
Eh?
Oh, actually gives up the chance at a pinfu. If you draw the 2-so after dropping the 8-so, you have a pinfu and a 6-9-so. Wait, I would have liked that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
And we have another call from Melvin. Takes the 7-8-9 pin cheating the 8 pin from Weibin. Drops the 9 pin. Now 2 away.
Right, this is fine for Melvin. Hold the dealership, cash out some points. There's also a Hamba on the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah, this is Melvin's last dealership, and he's in last place, so he really needs to capitalize on this. Melissa drops the penchant over here, keeps the 5 pin. Could be a combination of 1 and wanting to improve the shapes, and 2 not wanting to deal Dora into Melvin. And good draw for Weibin. Now Weibin is stuck with this double Dora for now,
Yeah.
but can easily build a block around it. Maybe even get a Sanshoku in the process. And there we go. The red 5-so is released. Melvin going for full efficiency in line with what you said about dealership.
Oh, another fumbly tile.
Oops.
Not revealed.
Hmm. Let's see. Yep, nothing for Melvin. Melvin's Sozu side is a little bit blocked off, similar to how Julian's is.
Yeah.
Kind of working against each other here. And Weibin does complete a shape, not really the one that you wanted to complete.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
And that is also an improvement for Melissa. She is 1 away now. She drops the 5-mon. Or she can get rid of the Dora right now, avoid the danger later. How likely does she think it is that someone will pawn the Dora here?
That is the question I'd
It's
be asking myself.
Yeah, it's a scary tile to feed into the dealer who called twice. Scary enough that she's going to get rid of the Kanchan.
Yeah.
If she improves the shapes, she might end up pushing it, but I'd be dubious for now. And similarly, Julian has this Dora here. This might be able to clear the way for her, but he holds it back for now. Everyone cautious the dealer. Oh no, Weibin 1 away. Weibin could pair up the Dora into Tempai now.
Was Melvin draw? Ooh.
Shame
Yeah.
about that red 5-so, yeah. Not that you could have known.
Yeah. That's Mahjong.
Oh, and there's that 2-so that backfired on Julian.
Yep.
That would have been the Pinfu Tempai right there. It's actually going to continue to play safe. Seems like there might be multiple players here that think that the dealer is Tenpai already.
Yeah. I would he threw out a lot of he hasn't changed his hand.
And this is also, at least in Melissa's case, probably an artifact of not wanting to give life to the last place player, which is a very, very common ladder tactic.
Yeah.
You never want to let them float again. Just let them drown on their own.
Oh, that's a pickup.
Yeah, drops the
Uh,
9 mon, looking to stick something around the Pinzu or to draw more Manzu and Doratanki.
absolutely safe there. Oh, we got final scores coming from table 2. Looks like Christian took it with a supremely healthy lead. Cody took
Wow.
second, Michael third, and Chris went back into negative.
Chi from Weibin, 104 so Champon, took a third Pinzu Honitsu looking call. The 1-so is Suji. I know Julian has a pair. If Julian is set on defending here, we could see it come out at some point. And Melvin draws a 2-so. All right. Well, Melissa is Tenpai as well. 6-pin Kanchan. She got rid of that Dora Fear by getting that 7-pin. That would be Haku Dora 1.
Mm.
I think there are 2 left. A 6-mon draw. Does he change the weight? No, keeps it the same. That 1-so weight looks good.
Yeah, it does.
And now Julian is Tenpai. This would be 1-so and East. And he breaks it.
Yeah,
Doesn't want to drop the
he's
Haku. The Haku is live, but he doesn't know that it's actually a triplet in Melissa's hand.
yeah, you can't toss the Haku in a situation like this.
And there's a 6-pin. Melvin deals into
No.
Melissa.
Yeah.
After all that work, Melissa will take the Haku Dora 1. That's 2,000 points plus 1,500 for a total of 3,500.
Yep.
And just like that, Melvin's last dealership is gone. He's not out of the game yet. Julian is still close enough that with a 1-2 punch, he can take over third place, but it's going to be tricky. South 3, Dora is the 3-pin. It is Melissa's second dealership, and she starts with a hand that looks a little bit disjointed. At least one pair. Oh, it looks like there's actually a completed sequence in there I didn't see.
Yeah. I don't think it's
So not
too
the
bad.
worst.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be too upset with a hand like that.
Ooh, is there a change-up to Junchan Sanshoku here too?
Uh, Melissa did
Maybe.
the neat little trick to see if how many tiles you have in your hand, where you put 3 from each side on top of 3.
Ah, yeah, and if you see one gap in the middle, you need to draw a tile. If you see 2 gaps, then you've already drawn. We had a quick double south pawn there from Julian,
Ah,
and now a Chi just speeding along here.
yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, double south could be, double south door 1. Ideally would get the 2-mon draw and wait on 1 4-pin.
Yep. And add benefit of him being the last dealer, so if he secures his hand, he's got a good chance of getting into seconds, and then on repeats can maybe even overtake.
Yep. Melissa 1 away now, weighing whether to keep the 6-pin for a possible Itsu upgrade or to toss it now and Suji trap the Penchan. Does just that. Wants to keep the door acceptance no matter what.
Hmm.
Makes sense. Melissa wants to grow her lead over here. One of the interesting things about Big Honba is if you're just trying to win every hand and you win cheap hands, the Honba quickly outweighs the value of the hands that you're winning. It can
Yeah.
actually be a net loss to deal in afterwards. So you do want to build some amount of value into your hand to make it worth repeating when you're in first place.
And,
So you're not going to be able to win too many hands in a row. Oh, Melvin gets a connector to that Dora.
yes. Yes, he does.
3 of the 2-pin are gone already, though. It's going to be tough.
Hopefully that 2 or 4 fills in for Julian for the other
Weibin,
shape.
Ishan 10 for a monster Dora 3 hand.
Hmm.
And, oh, okay, Melvin is 1 away now. He can drop the Dora block and go for a Itsu, or he can drop 1 2-mon and guarantee use of the Dora. The Itsu isn't guaranteed, but he decides to drop the Dora anyway. Going directly for that Itsu. And Melissa finds Tenpai. It is Riichi Dora 1 waiting on the Dora itself. 3-pin. It is a Suji trap. I don't know if anyone will fall for it.
Uh, hopefully not.
Yeah, I can't imagine that Weibin fully folds here. His hand is too good.
Yeah, it's way too good.
And this Riichi's so early, you don't really have enough information to fold either.
Like, I'd be honest, I would open Riichi if I'm waiting on a singular Dora like that, because there's no way and no way anyone's gonna throw it.
I think perhaps the only worry is that for Melissa, if she opened Riichi's while in first place and gives people the ability to just push past her, that she'll be
Hmm,
overtaken easily.
I see.
But I do agree that most of the time people aren't going to deal that Dora there, even though it is Suji. It's the Dora. You
I
can still
suppose,
use it on a pinch.
yeah, I suppose to amend my statement, I would do that if I wasn't in first. If you're in first, it's
Sure.
kind of a greedy maneuver.
Yeah, and if your team's far behind, that's okay to take that greed.
Yeah.
I think the Dora Neko are doing quite okay right now. So Melvin, no Haku pair for him, and no Tenpai for Julian. Julian and Weibin could conceivably still push here. And this is really
Oh,
tough for Melvin. Oh yeah,
showing
that's a
south.
south coming up. So prepare your south donkey now. Oh wait, it's already been pawned. And it's not even going to go to the player who pawned it, unless someone cheese and changes the top and bottom draw order. I think, yeah, Melvin's still trying to work around here. Has that 1 pin. It just became Suji, though. Julian Cheese drops the 1 mon. Waiting on Kanchan for mon. That'd be a non-Dora 1 hand. Sorry, double non-Dora 1.
Ooh. Weibin faking the camera out, showing the tile, but he is not ready.
Oh, he learned.
Did he hear us?
I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah, right?
Oh, there's that 2 pin. It doesn't look great.
Doesn't.
Yeah, the early 6 pin, and then you also have the door being the 3 pin. That 2 pin is not fun. But Julian is Tenpai with 3 Han.
Yeah.
This can be really hard to
Yep.
fold.
He's waiting for the Formon.
And yeah, Melvin 369 gets Melvin back into Tenpai, but if he doesn't draw the 369 first, he'll be in for a 10.
Julian's
He's
still
in last
looking
place
for
though. I think he might take it.
Oh. Julian's still looking for that Formon.
Yeah, there's 1 in Melvin's hand, and then I believe there is a 4-mon in Weibin's
Oh,
hand,
there it
and
comes
1 in
out.
Melissa's. But there's the last one. You only need 1.
Only need 1.
That's going to be a 3,900 point win. Double South Dora 1.
Plus the Hamba gets 49 out of that.
And now oh, I believe that's a Riichi stick.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, there we go. So 49. And now things are really close among the top 3 going to South 3. And here we go. South 3. And can't quite see the Dora yet. Julian is the dealer. Starts with a lot of Manzu. A lot of terminal
Yeah.
tiles.
Not a hand I'm
Not
happy.
the
Not a
best.
hand I'm. Yeah, I'm not happy if I have this hand.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the workings of a 1-2-3 Sanshoku, but it's really slow and it's all bad shapes. So just cuts a win for now and delays the choice. Dora is the
Dora,
north.
yeah, north.
So the question is, how does Melvin make back the value here?
Good
I think
question.
we'll take a look again. I saw a few pairs in Melvin's hand. We all know Chitoi is the shortcut to Hanuman.
Decoy is the shortcut to Honeymoon.
And if Melvin gets a Hanuman, it will be extremely close among everyone going into all last. Julian, a bit of indecision here. Sees that Sanshoku, sees that's possible Itsu, but the hand is really slow. Julian's not in a bad spot right now. Drops the Dora right away. Decides if this hand is going to be slow, I'm going to get rid of the Dora now and push to
Mm.
the end. Weibin, a little bit more greedy, keeps the Dora.
Yeah, Julian doesn't need a lot to jump into first.
Yeah, and it looks like Melvin is considering Chitoi here. Had 2 3-mon, 5-mon, and cut the 3-mon. So
Mm.
probably looking for 7 pairs Dora 1. Speaking of pairs, that's Weibin's 4th pair.
If I'm
And
way
keeps
bin,
that Chitoi open as well.
yeah, if I'm way bin, I'm pretty happy with that hand. I think the moment the tune comes out, I call it.
Oh, absolutely. Given uh, this point,
Spread.
oh, words escape me. Yeah, spread,
Yeah.
like jam.
Hmm.
Um, it's
Marmalade.
really thin right now, so taking just 2,000 points here puts you in first place, and it gives you a very good chance at taking first.
Yeah.
And if Weibin manages to pair up the Dora, it becomes 39. That's even more impactful. Oh, Melissa gets a triplet of the East Wind. Unfortunately, it is South 4. Oh, it's South 4. Why didn't I know that? My bad. Chat is probably yelling at us right now. But the overlay took a second update there. Unfortunately, we're having some technical difficulties. So Weibin takes the Tune pawn, goes to 1 away. Now deciding between cutting the 4-mon or cutting the north for more upgrades. And yeah, um,
Ooh. Beautiful.
yeah, Tenpai. It's Noyaku waiting on the 7-mon, probably hoping to pawn the Haku and wait on a Tonki.
Yeah, that's what I
There's
would do.
Temp. Yeah, agreed. It's you're in first place. If you reach it, you immediately fall into very, very close first place. That Riichi bet makes a huge difference. But at the same time, everyone is so close that I think you can justify just doing the Riichi too. Ah, Weibin gets the sumo, trying to calculate if it's worth enough, and takes it. So that'll be 300, 500. That's a total of 1,100 plus Melissa pays out the 300, so it's a total of 1,800 point swing, I think.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
enough.
sorry,
No,
1,400.
it's just
Just
shy.
short.
He didn't do the math right. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's a 1,400 point swing, just short of that, but decides to secure the second with how close Julian is. See everyone laughing in the background. And Julian takes a 32,200 point third, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Good job,
Uh,
Julian. You did your best.
the towers are in third, so taking a second here isn't the worst of it.
No, not at all. Destroyers are going to still have to dig themselves out next week, but an exciting match here. And complete reversal at the other table as well.
Yeah.
Christian managing to take home a quite impressive first and put Chris in the hole for a little bit. Well, we end with the final standings as such. I believe they still need to be updated for the most recent game, but the Falcons hold on, at negative 17.4 before this game. Sours at 16.9, Neko at 90.5, and Opie Dopes at 743.1. Those numbers are going to change just a little bit.
I think Chris
But
gained and lost nearly equal points between the two games.
yeah, I believe in the first game, Chris got a plus 62.5 first, and then took a negative 6,600 point last. So it should even out more or less.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
So still
minus
not a bad result.
72.9.
See, this is the power of being rich. You have money to work with.
Yeah, you can
Everyone else is
invest in
scrambling.
things, and if they fail, you don't care because you still have more money.
Well, that's gonna wrap it up for week 12 of N League. Of course, we're gonna be here again next week, I believe, with more games for you from our new setup in Brooklyn. So make sure to tune in then. You can find out more about N League on our website, riichinomi.com, or check out our Discord. You can also find the link to that on our website. If you are a member, you can consider possibly joining the draft for N League next season. So make sure to get your member benefits. I think that's about it for tonight, though. Special thanks to Riichi City for sponsoring our prize at the end of the season. We couldn't have made it quite as exciting without you guys.
Yeah, this was fun. Hopefully, you'll hear more commentary from us again in the future. I quite enjoyed doing this.
Yeah, quite a lot of fun. Well, thanks for helping out, Nick. And this is Erik from A Story. Going to sign out for